Welcome to the Innervision Business Beyond Barriers podcast. This podcast shines a light on Black and ethnically minoritised led businesses across the Liverpool City region.
Exploring ambition, resilience, growth and the realities of building businesses beyond structural and systemic barriers.
Hosted by me, Joanne, founder and director of Innervision.
And the former mayor of Liverpool. Alongside myself, Yaw Owusu, creative consultant and music industry strategist.
Each episode features a single founder from the Innervision Business Growth Programme and a few special guests.
Together, we explore how lived experiences shape leadership, how culturally responsive support can unlock growth, and what it really takes to build a sustainable, thriving business on their own terms.
This is Innervision Business Beyond Barriers podcast.
Can you tell us who you are, your business, and what you do?
So my name's Demeji. I'm currently a consultant for early founders, small businesses, and my business was Vegan Shack, plant-based fast food in Manchester.
So tell us about your story, but start at the beginning. You know, where you grew up, where you went to uni, how come you landed in Manchester, that sort of thing.
Yeah, let's go back. Born and raised in Paris.
Oh, wow.
With my siblings. We moved to Nottingham in 2000s, my siblings and my mum. Single mother, grew up in St. Anne's, love Nottingham, absolutely love it. I think I was entrepreneurship from as young as I can remember, actually. I've always wanted, I guess, to have my own business, be my own boss, and I've always had loads of ideas. So,
well, were you hustling when you were young? What were you up
hustling.
To?
So helping my neighbours. We used to have this nice little hustle. On a Wednesday, everyone's bins would be all over the street.
Yeah.
So we'd ask for £1 to put everyone's bins out, or put them back into your garden. Yeah. So that worked.
Not even clean them now, just
no, just put them back into your garden. It was a bit of a job, yeah. So that used to work.
That would have slowed them down if you had to clean them as well. Just get them back on.
It was too young. Me and my boy Shane used to do that. And then also, this was Shane's hustle, but he brought me in on it. We used to go shop for people. So they give us £1 or £2. Do you need anything from shop? We'll just knock on the door. But, actually, need some eggs and milk. Keep the change. Yeah. Sometimes they'd let you keep the change, which was nice. So we did that from young. And then secondary school, I got into a really good school in West Bridgford, like the posh part of Nottingham. So that was cool. Met some cool people who I wouldn't have normally met.
Yeah, wouldn't have had access to
definitely
otherwise.
Not. Very working class area, St. Anne's, and then went to Far School, which was really good. And then sixth form, university to study psychology. I really enjoyed psychology in sixth form. Wanted to study at uni. It wasn't the same. Dropped out. Almost immediately dropped out of uni. And I guess just figuring out life. I got into a bit of acting. I did some acting. I did some modelling. And then ultimately moved back up north to Nottingham, and that's when I really started to, I guess, embark on my entrepreneurial journey, trying to launch businesses, so social media companies, clothing brands, literally whatever it was. And then
Vegan Shack's not your first business. You've done a few more.
Vegan Shack was probably like my 50th business idea. Wow. Everything failed as quickly as it came into my head.
Did you do anything like business wise in school? Did you do business studies? Did you do anything?
Nothing.
So it was more actually doing business and enterprise.
All of it was like doing. Never studied business in any capacity apart from, I guess, what I'd learned on YouTube. I learned how to build. I had a website business. I would build websites for people. Again, learned that through like YouTube and stuff like that, and just doing. So it was all just trial and error. Just figuring it out. That's one thing that, honestly, if you ask my partner, she'll tell you, I'll just figure it out, whatever it is. So, did that, and then needed something a bit more stable. Got offered a job in Manchester for a clothing brand. Decided to move up to Manchester, and then, that's where I got the idea for Vegan Shack. which was the first business that I guess took off. You always say, well, apparently you know what the feeling's like when you're onto a good one, and I think we felt that pretty early on. So yeah.
So go on, what was that feeling like? Because I don't think I've ever been there. I've only had the one business, I suppose, or maybe two. I can't quite remember. But in terms of, I stuck with one thing that made money and was good at. But I'd love to feel that excitement of I'm making it in here. It's working.
That's it. So at the time, I had launched probably around 3 businesses. There was like a clothing brand again. I had my website business. I was doing websites at the time. And then there was another business that I tried to do and failed. I think it was like, I was just trying to jump on trends. So I think it was like toothpaste, but the pill form.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That looked like it was going somewhere, but it didn't. So I tried to jump on that quickly. It didn't go anywhere. And then Vegan Shack was the next one. Myself and my fiance had just gone plant-based, but we wanted like greasy food. We still wanted burgers, things that were like fried chicken and stuff like that. So
even the look of it, because you'd eat with your eyes, don't you?
That's it.
That's what I liked about what I've seen about Vegan Shack.
Yeah. So that's how it started. We would like hungover, we're in bed, we wanted greasy food, so we would always make ourselves this like loaded fries. So that's where Vegan Shack was actually born from. It was this loaded fries that we would make for ourselves, and that was the first item that we put together. And it was like a light bulb moment. Like, I think people would buy this. There was people doing something similar in other cities that I saw, but it wasn't how I would have done it. So I was like, let me do it.
And what like time period is this? Because I'm just wondering, like culturally, what was going on at the time?
So this is 2019.
Okay.
We launched Vegan Shack March 2019. So we're thinking early plant-based scene. There's one OG Manchester restaurant, V-Rev, that was all plant-based. But this is like early. There was no plant-based aisles, vegan aisles in any supermarket.
Because most of the stuff I seen then was abroad, like LA, had like a lot of the fast food places that was vegan.
Yeah.
There was
I've
loads.
never seen anything in the
Amsterdam was incredible for plant-based restaurants, plant-based food scene. Paris was ahead of its curve as well. Burger spots, pizza spots. But it seemed like Manchester wasn't there yet, or the UK wasn't there yet. So Vegan Shack was like, I think we could do this. I think there's going to be people that don't live in the city centre that can't get a vegan burger. So let's see. So went to Tesco with my £30. Went to Tesco, got my ingredients, came home, made this food, took some pictures, posted it on Instagram using all the Manchester vegan hashtags. And then, just day by day, more and more likes. And it seemed like it was going somewhere. And then another hack, which I always tell people to do, but there was loads of Manchester vegan groups on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
We had one group with like 10,000 members, Manchester Vegans it was called. So I would post in there, and then it just worked, obviously, because it's such a niche.
I know, but
people
think Facebook is dead, isn't it? But when I go abroad, I go into all the groups of that place, and you find out things you wouldn't find out otherwise.
Definitely. And then I was like, well, we're in Manchester. I want vegans. This group's got 10,000 members. Right.
It's a mailing list that you'd pay a fortune for, isn't it?
Literally, right? Yeah. So, and then it worked. And then just day by day, where can I get this? I want to buy this. So we got our first customer, Gilson. Shout out Gilson. He ordered loaded fries, a wrap, and I think a portion of chips. At the time, I've posted this on social media. People are not going to believe me. We're talking a B&M fryer, a B&M griddle, teppanyaki grill that just sat on top of my hob. It was about this big. We had no packaging. The order got delivered in a Tesco for Life bag. We didn't have any change. I didn't have a food delivery bag. I had to put it in the footwell of my Corsa with the heating turned up. I swear to keep it warm.
Well, at least it's not chicken, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So it's all plant-based. It's all food.
Is Gilson still here? Healthy? He's good?
Yeah, he's still good.
Okay, so that's good. Just make sure
I saw him on social media. No, he's good. And then, drove to Salford, delivered the food. And he actually messaged straight away because he didn't believe it was vegan. He said, he was like the textures. He's like, I don't think this is vegan.
You look at things and you go, are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, I promise you it's made from soy. It's vegan. We've seasoned it, but it's fully plant-based. Trust me. He ended up ordering every day for 7 days.
Right.
And then,
So this is just from your kitchen?
Just from our 1-bed apartment, 7th floor apartment kitchen. And we was just taking orders through Instagram DM.
Do you know what? People come to us sometimes with like grand ideas, and our kind of measure on whether they're an entrepreneur or not is like, you'd be doing it no matter what it is, you'd be doing it anyway. Yeah, and I think people they either do it for the love of it or they do passionate about it, but it doesn't matter about money, it doesn't matter about having the money, you just crack on, don't you?
Even a business plan, I was like,
I think business plans are a bit. I think
just do it. Just start. The plan, you will never stick to it anyway.
You'll never
stick. And that is the business. What you're doing.
Yeah, that's.
But I think
like it's vegan food. I'm selling it to someone. I deliver it.
But I think as soon as you write a business plan, it's like out of date. The minute you've finished the last line, it's out of date.
Yeah. You're going to do 1 week of, let's say you write a business plan. Week 1, you're going to be so off plan. You don't want to be discouraged. You don't want to feel like you're off track. It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go.
Like bringing up babies where you think the books tell you to put them down for half an hour and then they'll sleep and you get them up and it just doesn't, none of it works out.
No, of course not. You think, you can plan your day and then that's it. It's gone out the window by 10 a.m. So he ordered every day for 7 days, and then I quit my job after a month of doing this because I was like, this is going somewhere. We'd get about 1 order a day. Some good days we'd get 2 orders and I'd be buzzing. Went to my boss and I was just like, this business, my side hustle's really taken off. I would love to do 9 till 2. This was pre-COVID, or everyone that's allowed to work from home now. You don't know what it was like. I was like, I'd love to do 9 till 2 because I want to go home because I'm rushing home in traffic at this time. I was working 9 till 5. I'd get home at 6 through Manchester traffic, which was agony. And then I'd cook and deliver until 11 p.m. Sometimes I'd be lucky that my fiance Saffron would be home and she'd help me.
But you're just offering slots then from 7 till 10.
That's right. Food, they'd order through DM, and I'd be like, it's going to come within an hour or an hour and a half. At that time, I managed to build a website for it, with an ordering platform, so customers could order.
See, that's why having those skills, website skills, already helped you, didn't it?
That's definitely a useful business.
Yeah, no, for sure. I always say building websites, graphic design are the 2 skills that I learned through that YouTube early on that have served me the most, because as soon as I get a business idea, I can do the logo, I can do the branding, I can figure out what it's going to look like to see if I even like it and want to roll with it. I can do the website with all the branding.
You're not spending out
everything's
on that
done
at the beginning.
Exactly. So I can start a website, I can start a business with £0 and at least start selling to see if I like it. So yeah, my boss said no, obviously. You can't do 9 till 2, I've just hired you. I've got a business to run.
I don't know what's wrong with bosses.
Yeah, literally. I don't know why it was being like that. I was his second employee. But yeah, I said, fair enough. Unfortunately, I've got to go and it's fine. And then I remember I got back in my car, still got the video on my phone, got back in my car, put my phone up. I'm outside the office and I was like, I've just left. My boss won't let me reduce my hours, but I get to focus on Vegan Shack. And I think this is the one, guys. I'm so excited. Went home, turned on the website, carried on cooking, and just day by day, being able to go full time, really pushed the business. Business was making about £1,000 a month. Wow. So not really replacing my salary, but enough for me to want to
But this is still from your kitchen and not spending out much.
No, not at all. Exactly.
I was going to ask a question. It's like a lot of people who have ideas, who are developing ideas, that time when it's, should I jump?
Yeah.
Should I go full time? Knowing that there's going to be a dip in income or whatever. Like, how did you process that? Was it at the moment? Was it instinctual? Because you talked in review. It probably said he said no, so I'm going to just go and do it.
Well,
but
not just process. And how did you agree it with your partner?
Yeah. So the advice I always give on this is mixed, right? Because number one, risk appetite. I would never advise someone to do what I do when I get an idea. I don't know if it's something mentally that happens in my brain. If I have an idea that I really believe in, I want to go for it straight away. So me quitting my job was the easiest decision I made at the time. Wasn't the wisest, I don't think.
It might just be a learning style, So let me ask you a question. Do you play the piano?
No.
If I told you to play the piano or learn to play the piano, how would you go about it?
I'd just want to play the piano.
So you're an activist. So a lot of people would either hear someone else or let someone else show them or read how to play the piano. Lots of people give different answers on this. So I'm an activist. I would just jump in. I would just have a go. I would just jump on the piano. So it's probably an activist mentality rather than sort of give yourself a disorder.
So that's it. So me, I'd jump in. I've never needed much to quit something, to go full time on something else. So I always say, don't leave your full-time job yet. Do it until what it felt to me like the business was suffering because it's operating in such reduced hours in the evening. I don't want to be going on stock runs during my lunch break. I don't want to be going to get packaging across Manchester on my lunch break and rushing home after work to, get this business going. So it was the easiest decision. At the time, rent in Manchester was very cheap.
Oh, okay.
Everything, it was cheap. I was paying like £700 for a flat, for a one-bed flat. My partner had a good job at the time. She was doing really well. This is
why I think Liverpool's much better. That's expensive.
This was 2019.
Yeah,
it's true. And it was a service department as well. But so went home. I think I messaged my partner or called my partner. Just like, they won't let me, so I quit.
Amazing.
Did you have kids at this time? No.
I was about to say, amazing that it wasn't a conversation beforehand, that you didn't go back and go, thinking about this, what do you think?
I should have. That would have been the wise thing to do and the kind thing to do, because we had just moved in together. That was our first apartment. We were 2 months into our first apartment and we turned it into a takeaway.
I mean, lucky she stayed with you, to be fair.
Exactly. To be fair, that fryer, the first deep fat fryer that we used, got gifted to her for her birthday, so she had a part to play in this as well.
She contributed. It was her fault, basically.
Because before that, we was doing fries in our oven, and
it wasn't the same.
The fries wasn't the same.
Fantastic invention, though, isn't it? The
little deep fat fryer.
Because imagine if it, you would have had to deep fat fry it otherwise, wouldn't it? Imagine what the apartment would have been like if you had to use a hot fryer.
We'll get there.
We'll
get there in the story, don't worry.
DIVORC for me, if that was the case.
We'll get there. And then, so I'm full time at this point. My partner is every day off, or when she'd come home early, she would be cooking or delivering, and then the other person would be doing the other thing. So we're handling way more orders. We're still on maybe 4 or 5 orders a day at this point, but we're establishing ourselves in Manchester. You want greasy, vegan fast food, you come to us, we can deliver it all over Manchester. Back then, delivery radius was like a mile. If you don't live in town, you're not getting delivery or Uber Eats. So we're serving everyone out of that. So again, we're flying. Our repeat customer is so high because, again, you can't get anything else.
It's good food.
Domino's wasn't doing vegan pizza. This was like pre all of this. So we launched that at the right time. And then, just day by day, we're growing. It's like, I remember the first celebrity we ever served, we got a message on Instagram. She's got a verified tick, but it's not registering. I'm hustling, orders, I want to order. It was a really big order, and I'm thinking, but I live really far. I don't mind. Just up delivery, please deliver it. And I'm like, sound, no problem. Again, we're cooking and delivering all day, not registering. And then I drive really far. I get to the address and I'm calling the customer and I'm like, I'm at the end of the street. All I can see is a path. I don't know where I'm going.
That is the house. That is my property.
She said, go up the path and you'll see the houses. And I was like, okay. I go up this path and I see this beautiful, beautiful house. Gate opens, automatic. And again, I don't watch football, never have watched football, so I don't really understand. But turns out it was Chris Smalling and his wife.
Oh, great.
And at the time he was playing for, I think, Manchester. One of them. And just blew my mind. Gave him the food. Oh, this is amazing. Was so excited to try. Boom. And I'm like, okay, sweet. I drive back home. I ring my partner. I'm like, oh my God, he was a footballer. They've just ordered from us and we're cooking it from the flat.
And is this all organic? Just people telling people?
This is organic.
People. You're not doing any crazy ads or nothing like that?
Nothing. We're still operating from home. We make, on a good day, we've got 50 quid in our hands or the bank at the end of the day. Like, we haven't got the budget for anything else. This is word of mouth, posting in vegan Facebook groups, and post on Instagram using hashtags. This is pre-TikTok, pre-virality, nothing. So we're TikTok, all, so we're just hustling word of mouth. And then we get a notification on Instagram. I think it was that day. And she said this was the best vegan chicken she's ever had. Wow. And I remember I sat down and I was like, these guys have got millions of pounds. They've been all over the world. They've been plant-based for a long time. They've eaten the best food all over. Ours is the best fried chicken. And I said, vegan shack is
and
is
this
going
is pre-pandemic this as well?
Pre-pandemic. Okay. We're still in the flat, like I said. And then, she ended up ordering a few more times. And then, from then on, it was just growing. And it was just a full-on takeaway. from the flat. We live in Salford Quays, so we're serving customers before the football matches. People walk into Old Trafford.
So when did you say a studio flat?
Just one bed apartment, but open plan kitchen, living room.
So what's this like now in terms
Carnage,
of living? I can't even stand. I won't let Lewis cook food in the house. I go, no, it stinks. Don't cook food in the house.
So we've got packaging everywhere. Our fridge is full. We've bought a chest freezer at this point, just a small chest freezer, like a residential one. We've got chips stacked in there from Tesco. We're still ordering from Tesco every single day. At the end of every day, we're driving to Tesco Extra to re-up on chips, like McCain's fries and all these things. And we still got a teppanyaki grill, again, B&M one, and a B&M fryer. I think at this point we might have bought 2, but literally the £20, the small ones. And then like a nugget from the heavens, my fiance Saffron, she meets my fiance Saffron, her mother starts dating this guy. We meet him for the first time. And he's like, oh, well, what do you guys do? What do you guys go up to? Oh, we just started this hustle. We're serving vegan fast food from the flat. He's like, oh, I buy and sell catering equipment. Wow. I have a warehouse full of equipment. Wow. If you ever need anything, I'm your guy. Like, you can just take it.
Wish my mother would be that helpful.
Just take it as well.
You can just take it. And I'm like, wow. But anyway, one day he comes over to surprise us, and he with Saffron's mother, and he brings a deep fat fryer, commercial one, 20 litre deep fat fryer. Yeah. So at that point, we've
game on.
Yeah. Oh, it's game on. The operation is now we're going somewhere. So we've got we've got a double basket deep fat fryer in our living room kitchen, and we're just able to handle so much more. Like, we're able to prep, light fry things. We're able to do full basket of fryers, 10 litre drums. Like, it's at that point,
So you can bleep this out if you need to, but what are the rules and regulations around doing all that?
I was about to say, out in your flat. I was like, was there no questions? You're going in and out all the time.
You're not allowed to do this.
Do you want us to bleep it out, or you're all right to be
I'm fine. I've spoken about it. I've spoken about it on TikTok.
Anyway, so it's like you definitely did it.
No, it's not that. It's like, do you want us to take it out?
No, I've spoken about it on TikTok about like unethical ways we grew the business, and honestly, people were laughing in the comments. So don't do this, guys. If you do it, make sure we were registered with a local authority, and we were allowed to cook in the flat. Yeah. We had, our fire safety stuff. We had all of our documents. Yeah.
But
I don't think they knew how big the fries were.
Yeah.
But we were technically,
So was there any smell though? Any neighbours? Was the flat like a new build, or do you know?
It was a new build.
Because you can smell, can't you, if something's cooking?
Yeah.
So did you get complaints and stuff?
We didn't get complaints. Luckily for us, we had customers in the building. We had a crazy idea I remember once it was like a light bulb moment. I was like, wait,
everyone in the building.
Yeah. We live in an apartment block.
Yeah.
We have access to the mail room. Yeah. There's probably about 1,000 people that live in this complex. There's like 3 buildings. Yeah. Let's go fly the mail room.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we did. We're like, if we get a few vegans in here, we're chilling. Like 2 floors down or 1 floor up.
I've obviously had to do this politically, where you just door knock and put things, and when you go to the buildings, you're made up to be able to put one in every letterbox. All them areas that are densely populated. I know they've got them in Manchester as well, in Liverpool. We've got the 2 ups, 2 downs, by the football grounds and stuff. Yeah. So you can do
quite a lot.
Loads of streets in half an hour, and you've hit a massive proportion of the population.
Yeah, so that's what we did. So we got a lot of customers in the building, luckily. But it was a mission trying to, hide it from the front of house staff, security, and all of that.
Service block,
Yeah, and then, we ended up getting a customer on our floor. He lived 4 doors up. He would order every week. So, luckily it wasn't that bad. But once, this is like 11 p.m, people come back from a night out, and you could hear, all I hear is, oh my God, it smells like a chippy in here. And I was like, that's us.
I can't even, if I walk past the restaurant and it catches you, I'm like, ugh. Do you know what I mean? I can't stand. So if I lived next door to you, I'd have been complaining, I think.
For sure. Everything smelled, the whole flat, our sofas, our clothes. We would shower, put on fresh clothes. We'd go see friends in another city, and they'd be like, you smell like a vegan shack. And we'd be like, well, yes. Literally.
Yeah, that's what nice, I
right?
Okay, I'm going to ask a really odd question at this point. You're quite in the business. It's in your living room. How did you separate? Or was there no separation with your real life? Was it just all
vegan shack every single day? Every single day, vegan shack.
Like I'm saying, could you be you and your partner? Could you sit and watch a film and just chill?
Yeah,
or was it like
yeah.
without thinking about, because it's actually in your space?
So we would. Our typical day was we'd chill on the sofa, watch TV, and then an order would come in. Luckily, the fries had been heating up. Teppanyaki grill was nice and hot, so we'd get up and cook, and then that was it. We'd chill, watch TV, and then cool, an order's come in, let's go. And it was that until we couldn't do it. We didn't get a chance to sit down, and then it was just work every day. But we enjoyed it so much that all we wanted to do was vegan shacks. It was just vegan shack every single day.
So let me just ask about your other businesses. I take it was nothing this big.
Nothing this big.
Was any of them in the food industry?
Nothing. No, I've never even worked in a restaurant.
So getting the jump to like what happened next in terms of getting a kitchen or getting a premises, and how was that process? Because I think sometimes if you know that kind of world, you're quite all right, But if you don't know that world, it's a bit of a minefield, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. And my one advice that I give to everyone, if you're going to jump into an industry, I would always say just work in there for a bit. I don't care if it's a month and then you quit. 2 months, you're going to get so many gems that we've had to either pay for, hire for, or like really research. But
just even you saying, so I used to wait on in the Isle of Man when I was 15. I started cut back in the day, and then my auntie had a cafe in Cavan Walks, and I couldn't get the smell of cheese and onion. I just can't get it out of anything. And obviously I only worked there for Saturday, so by Wednesday it was all right. But you noticed a lot of Chinese people in the steam when you go to the gym and that. It's to get rid of the smell of the food out the pores, because you just can't get rid of the smell when you wear.
We could have done with that, actually. You also get
nose blindness, though, so you might have had nose blindness by this point.
For sure we did, we didn't realise, and then people would hug us and be like, okay, that's vegan shack. But
so I'm intrigued then, how'd you go from that setup to again going, okay, we need premises.
Our lease was coming to an end anyway. Right. So it was, we either get another place to run this out of, or we take the jump. Yeah. Again, the business is probably making $2,500 to $3,000 a month at this point.
So it's getting
It's getting there. And it's consistent. I would have loved a bit more growth, but it's consistent, which I'm not sad about. I'd rather it stay steady than go down. So we, after delivering orders, we would drive around Manchester, just try and see to let signs. Obviously we'd look online, but we wanted, maybe we don't know the name of some of these agencies. We find this place. I was big into, I still am, but really big into manifestation at that point. So I take a picture of it, Photoshop the logo on it. I Photoshop a vegan shack on there and everything. We ended up getting that location.
Computer skills. Manifestation added together,
that was our first takeaway.
And where was that, sorry?
It was in Collyhurst in Manchester City Centre. So whole new radius than we had previously been operating in, but we was like, it's vegan fast food. I think people are going to travel for this. They're not going to be that mad. They're just going to be buzzing. We're still in Manchester. So we got that takeaway. We moved all our stuff into there. Teppanyaki grill, deep fat fryer, and our Chester freezer. And nothing else. We're operating from there while we move to our house. We're like, if we get a really rundown house, we rent a really bad place, we can afford a takeaway. Let's just do it. Again, no kids. It's just me and my partner. Was like, so we find a place for £500 a month in Middleton, terraced house, right on it. It was really bad. But we just needed to sleep. We're working 12, 13.
Anyone in Middleton?
No. Middleton's a beautiful area. And the people were amazing. And I love the big Tesco there.
I love the big Tesco.
No,
it made your life a lot easier having a big
house.
Tesco.
It's cheaper than Tesco Espresso.
And it was nice. We could do stock runs on the way into work with the big Tesco. So we get that. We get our takeaway. January we signed. January 2020 this is.
Oh gosh.
And luckily, again, my fiance's mother's partner, this whole time, if you need anything, guys, I'm your guy. I'll kick the whole shop out. I'm not the guy to say that to, because, mate, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. I'm going to let you know. Like, I'm sorry, I've had it before. I'll drop me a message on LinkedIn. I'll drop you a message in an hour, right? When it comes to my dreams, I will be in touch. So, we didn't want to, but obviously on the sly, I'm like, how are you and Thingy doing? She's like, yeah, it's all right. I don't know if it's for me, but our relationship's going on. But I know. But I know we've had like cigarette chats at the time, and he's like, if you ever need anything. So I'm like, okay, they might be on the breaks. I need to do it now. So I'm like, okay, no worries, man. Well, wish you the best. And then in my
like that, you're bleeding staying with them.
Literally in my head, I'm trying to put a plan together, and I'm like, I need to get a van. get to Leeds, surprise him and just be like, oh, I'm in Leeds, running errands, I've got a van, can I get some equipment? This his job, and he lives across the road from his warehouse. So I'm thinking he's obviously going to be in. So that's what we do. We go to Leeds, we hire a van.
Phone him or not before then?
Nope.
Just put it on him.
Straight away. I got a van, we're in Leeds, myself and Saffron, can we get that equipment? Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Sound, I'll meet you there.
Sound,
Perfect. We go, we kit out the van. And I mean, he's just like, yeah, take this, take that.
Yeah.
We get a griddle, we get another fryer, we get fridges, freezers, tables, a pizza oven, because at the time we were doing pizzas, but we were just doing them in our apartment oven. So with pizza oven, a mixer, so much. Probably about 10K's worth of equipment, bless him. And he's like, yeah, take it. So we drove back to Manchester. We've got a takeaway now. We've kitted out. We've still not got a shop sign, but we've got the equipment.
No idea, but all the gear.
That's it. Coincidentally, they broke up a few days after that.
You're not getting any of your stuff back though.
No, that was a gift, and that was between me and you. I made sure it was our conversations, and you promised me for nothing else.
I like your timing.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I think you knew it was going to break up in the next couple of days. You were like, let's go, we need to go to Leeds now.
Yeah. I think every good businessman should take those opportunities, and you should be able to risk assess, and you know what I mean?
don't know when they're going to happen again.
That's it. So we did that, luckily. So at that point,
No, but this is phenomenal, really, isn't it? Because who has 10 grand to get a load of equipment to kit
for sure, because at that point, genuinely, before these conversations, I'm thinking we need to get like maybe 2 or 3 teppanyaki girls from B&M. We need more fryers in case they break mid-shift. They're £20 fryers. Like, we need to get a few more, but we'll be fine. And in my head, if we build a partition in a restaurant, no one will know, because they won't be able to see them when they order like what we're actually working with. But they're liking the food so far. So, so this was a blessing. They was able to get so much equipment. And then, so we're trading out there for a couple of weeks. We finally make enough to get a sign, £500, I think, from a Manchester company. We get a vegan shack sign out the front. So now we're trading with a shutter up. Because we was trading with a shutter down because I was a bit embarrassed. So we're trading with a shutter up. We're finally a proper takeaway.
Well, I only learnt about dark kitchens a little while ago, but what was interesting to me, and I was at university doing a business scale up to masters. I've just completed it last year. The years are just melting away. Last year or the year before, recently. And someone said that I didn't know what a burn rate was, and they said burn rate's of £10,000. And I was like, what's a burn rate? Losing £10,000 a month. So they had a dark kitchen. And it was like, it wasn't even that it was profitable in the next 6 months. It was like a year away that it was going to be profitable. I was like, you're losing 10 grand a month to be profitable in a year's time. Like, I couldn't get my head around that. I didn't understand that. I don't think I could ever engage in that, because that just stressed me out, losing that much per month.
I don't think I would ever. I'd be like, just stop now. You can be in profit. Keep your money in your profit. What is he trying to get to?
The dark kitchen idea was new to me as well. I didn't.
It was popping up in Manchester around early 2019, and that was an option for us too. But the relationship we had with our customers, I knew we needed a shop. There
was a much more close, a community feel to your customers.
We needed a sign. We needed a shop. We wanted it to be Manchester's storefront, like brick and mortar. So and then next month, COVID gets announced. We've just signed a 5-year lease. We're hearing murmurs of landlords being like, don't care. We still need our money. So we're like, we have no idea what to do. Carried on trading to see what happens. I've still got videos on my phone now when I'm sat outside in the car being like, I don't know how we're going to pay this quarter's bill. Like, bills are stacking up. We have who let me sign this lease? Like, who made me think this is a good idea? No, for sure. But then luckily for us, business just went through the roof.
I can imagine, because everyone's at home ordering the stuff in.
People are getting their full wages, full salaries, and all they're doing is ordering food.
It's the first time I've ever had money in my life during COVID, but I live off the city centre, so I can get any restaurant in town. So I think 1 month I looked at my money during COVID, I'd spent £2,000 in food. I don't like cooking, but £2,000, I was like, that's a piss take. I've got to stop doing that. But during COVID is where I really fell in love with having whatever meal I wanted delivered, because I wasn't going out to do it.
That's it. And then what a lot of people enjoyed was coming to our shop for their like one daily essential, because we offered click and collect. We were the only plant-based restaurant open at that time. So we're talking into 2020 now, there's more. There's another place called Wholesome Junkies in Manchester who are goated. They're like, V-Rev was still there, but they closed because they were in a restaurant. They didn't do takeaway at the time. There was Wholesome Junkies. They closed for a while because they were in a food market in Arndale, so they had to close. So we were the only plant-based takeaway opened, and we was just takeaway. So we was allowed in one person at a time. We were still doing our deliveries. We had we were set up for COVID.
Put up the plastic.
That's it. We had the face masks. We had the face masks on.
COVID was good to you then. Really,
and we were coincidentally ready for it. We had 2 delivery drivers, and on Uber Eats, you could click and collect through our website already. So that system was already set up, and it was just perfect. You could pull up right outside.
Pivot at all. It was not just like,
it was weirdly, we was really primed for COVID. So
that rent and race question wasn't really a thing in the end. It ended up being.
It ended up being the best thing for us. We was making so much money.
How much profit were you making then? I think I seen something on social media where your average order was about £30 or something.
It was. Yeah, it was.
So what kinds of profit were you making on a £30 order?
So we were making around 40% at the time, which is insane for hospitality. For most businesses, never mind hospitality. It was myself and Saffron working every single day.
Has Saffron at this point give up her job?
Oh, she quit 4 months into it. We had a chat.
Because when you kept on mentioning it, I was thinking, she's doing a lot.
Apologies. So this back in 2019, 4 months in, I say to Saffron, and it was like mutual conversation, we really need you full time. She was like, sound, let's do it. We can do it. But babe, you're killing it at your job. She was a sales assistant, retail. So she got paid a salary and also commission. And she was the best seller in the region. Sorry, but we need you. I can only afford to cover all the bills and pay you £50 a month. Is that okay? Yeah, let's do it.
I think that might be love.
That's deep.
I don't think I love anyone enough for that, to be fair.
Is love. No, it was love. It was love.
That is Bonnie and Clyde life at time.
Yeah, it really was. She was like, let's do it. And then we were able to really jump the revenue because there was one person cooking at all times, one person delivering. Before that, I'm turning off the website to be able to deliver. And then as soon as I delivered,
you delivered anywhere as well. So.
So as soon as I finished delivering, I'm turning the website back on my phone, and then I'd get an order by the time I got back home. So one person cooking, one person delivering. This is
building step by step a business.
It must have been exciting at the time, but even talking back now, it's like I'm hanging on every word. You think it's like proper exciting.
But no one can take that away from you when you've built it. I always say, when people
being a
say,
founder is,
when people say, they're copying my idea, they won't have your vision. They haven't learned what you learned. They haven't done what you've done. Do you know what I mean?
They haven't been able to do what you have done.
So you can copy what someone else has done, but if you haven't built it and done it, and
especially when you love it, it's not like some people can copy stuff. But if their heart's not in it, they're going, I'm just going to do that because it looks like it's working for them. It's not the same adrenaline rush as when you're...
It's not. And really, and I feel like when you're building a brand, your audience knows what's real and what's not. And through our business journey, like some of the topics we'd speak on and donations we would make into organizations, and just myself and Saffron being the faces of the business as 2 newly plant-based people and passionate about plant-based food and making it delicious. Like people can see that when you're building a brand.
You can see and feel it. Yeah, you can.
So she came on, and then it was just company flew. And then that COVID, we hit our first 5-figure month.
Wow.
Blew my mind. We made just over £10,000 in 1 month.
I've got a bit excited. The hairs have gone up on me now.
Honestly, I remember saying to Saffron, like, this is insane. We've just made 5 figures. It's just me and you hanging out in this kitchen cooking vegan food. What is happening to our lives? We said, if this happens again next month, maybe this might be our new normal. Because prior to this, we're making $3,000 a month. This might be the new normal. Happened again the month after that.
And sorry, when you're talking about making, are you just saying that's just like revenue in?
Top end.
Profit?
No. Top end revenue. At that point, we're profiting around £4,000 a month. Again, insane that we have 4,000 spare after bill, like everything.
Because there's a lot going on as well, isn't there? From rents and food.
That's what I was thinking.
But luckily, the rent was really cheap. It was a rundown takeaway, but luckily rent was cheap. But the main thing is labor cost. And it's just myself and Saffron. We're paying ourselves peanuts still. We're not even on proper salaries. We're just covering our
You'd
bills.
have to do that, don't you? You'd have to do that when you're setting up.
We're just covering our bills and that's it. So there's so much money left in the account after everything's gone out. okay, if we make 5 figures again next month, and we did it. We made like 15, and we're like, nah. Okay, one more month. If this one more month, maybe we should put ourselves on a wage, like a proper wage. And then we topped it again, and I'm like, this is insane. But we're getting so busy that we're having to hire. So we're hiring staff, and one staff member, 2, 3, 4.
But then it's all the work of onboarding them. I can't come in, I'm sick. It's all that sad.
But we needed to. We were getting so busy. Again, I've got this video on my phone too. We would get in, you could pre-order, click and collect for at Vegan Shack. We would get in ready to prep like 2 p.m. one day, and the receipt printer had been printing pre-orders. The receipt till was on the floor. From pre-orders. So we'd get in and have to close the website because we can't, we're trying to figure out slots, and we're doing 2 orders per drop, and it's we're still like, oh my God, this one's going to have to be a triple drop. This one's going to have to be a double. And at this point we got a delivery driver. We ended up getting 2. And we're just really busy, full team of staff. And it got to the point where we can't make any more money. We're having to close the website. We can't get out enough orders.
Were you turning, obviously closing the website, but were you at a point where you're like, we actually know that we're leaving 10 grand a month off the table because we're just unable to fulfill?
So that's what it was in my mind. It was clear as day. We're having to close the website. We can't take any more money. Customers are going underserved. This needs to be fixed.
Especially
hindsight, that was my first mistake.
But especially because you'd built up a community of people who really wanted your food. It wasn't just like they can get this anywhere else.
And on top of click and collect, people are starting to realize, I can't order click and collect, so they're trying to come into the store. So we're trying to serve customers
as well as,
and we can't turn them away. So we're trying to take and then cook the food, and it's a small kitchen. There's 3 of us, so we can't handle it.
I've got experience of that as well. When it was my cousin Anthony, who ended up being a goalkeeper as a footballer. But we had this little tiny cupboard like this. Anthony was 6'4" or something, I think Anthony is. Anyway, Anthony would be in the cupboards, and we'd just come and throw dishes in the cupboards for Anthony to clean them. And then Anthony would be rolling up bowls of serviettes and adding them on the thing. And we're just like rammed, with people coming in the cafe, like just wild how busy it was. And Anthony's supposed to be doing the dishes thingy, but the space that Anthony was in for 6'2" was just probably absolutely unethical. We locked him in a cupboard and made him wash dishes.
But even when you said you said this, that was my first big mistake.
Yes,
was that you saying instead growing then instead of kind of what was that mistake, and what are the other options that you would have?
So I've heard a few videos, because I've watched a few videos online. So explain that to us, because for some people, and I like watching the companies in America where it happens, growing fast can be really problematic if you can't handle it. But you're saying this is where decisions affected how you grew.
Definitely. Yeah. So my mind, again, we're having to turn off the website. Customers are going underserved. This needs a fix. We need a bigger location. That makes sense, right? And in my mind at the time it did. In hindsight, and obviously hindsight's everything, we should have just carried on as we were. The business was growing without us doing anything. We was working every single day, just doing a post on Instagram, but we're too busy to work on the business because we're in it. And the business was still growing at a crazy rate. So I should have just left it. Maybe I should have trimmed down the menu, extended opening hours. There's so many things you can do. There's so many things you can do without taking on more risk, bigger locations, bigger rent, bigger team. There's things you can do within your business to there's just more, maybe redesign the kitchen and
but again, you're not taught these things, are you? And I think in terms of, and this is what I find really interesting about your story, is that growth to everyone, just like more, better, bigger, more. That's what people imagine as growth. Growth can be efficiency, and growth can be social impact as well as the impact you want to make.
Efficiency,
growth,
I like that. Growth, literally. And they're the systems that you have to implement in your business. And I get it. There's no point you can't pre-plan, I know I'm going to be that busy in 2022, so let me start working on these systems. No, that's not a good use of your time. You actually need to build the business to get there in the first place. But at that point, that's when I should have really been like, okay, cool, maybe the menu's too big. Let me streamline the menu so it's easier to cook, so I can handle more orders. Or maybe I just hire one person full time for the till, and maybe we do this, or maybe we hire someone to come in and redesign the flow of the kitchen so the flow's better.
I stand in restaurants actually and want to create the system. You know, when they're waiting on staff to do it really badly. But also when you go to some foreign countries, you go, why do I have to get me ticket here and go and stand it? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's not what I wanted to ask. I just got a bit carried away and excited. So at any point, did you get business advice from anyone, or did you get any business support?
Real was business advice?
No. At that point, no. We had, the owner of, or one of the owners of Archie's had come into our store at that time. I remember, to order some food. You guys are doing really well. Love this food. You're killing it. Reach out if you ever need anything. I never did. So I think that was, again, another mistake.
It's
just
funny
too
though,
busy.
Before you said normally when people offer you something, but I assume you were so busy that like something like that, you're not
so
even
busy.
prioritizing.
I'm literally looking down.
Yeah.
I was, to a fault, I was so hung up on customer experience, customer satisfaction. It's not even registering. I want everyone's order to be this. Our consistency of Vegan Shack is one thing I was always proud of. People would have it 10 times and it would be the same.
But it's not a bad thing to be obsessed about either, is it?
So
you know what I mean? When people lose
I did.
that, I think they lose a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Advice is something I should have gotten at that stage, when I'm realizing, we're making crazy money on vegan food. I'm considering another location, but I don't know if there's something else. At that point, I should have sought professional advice. But I'm not trying to spend anything at the time. I don't know if we're going to hit the same money next month. And again, I don't know how this goes. I don't know what it's like to have a successful business.
Well, let me just ask this, because one of the biggest learning curves, I think, for everyone on our business is financial literacy. And it's not adding up, and it's not being able to do accounts, and it's not even reading a set of accounts. It's actually sitting down and planning from a financial point of view, your goals and stuff like that. I'm a bit tight with money financially. I say to everyone, actually, do need a good lawyer. And people try to come to me for legal advice. But I go, pay one thing you should pay for, good lawyer, good accountant. But in terms of like kind of having that financial literacy to know, well, actually, this might be happen for this long, and if I put this much away, or if I have 3 months reserve, I can pay staff when they go. So it's that financial literacy around how you manage this business and the growth of this business. No one gets taught that, do they?
And we had an accountant at the time.
But it's not the same thing.
Another mistake was she wasn't a hospitality accountant. She was just a really good accountant. But so many things slip through the cracks when you don't know every law change, everything changed. Like it even started to leak into.
Because of course, COVID as well. Lots of legal things changed.
I didn't know that we were supposed to be paying 5% VAT. It was 0 and 5%, and then it went up to 12 point. And because she wasn't aware of the hospitality changes, because I know. So that was, we departed ways then, and then I ended up getting an accounting firm in Manchester, and they were just amazing. Hospitality department, they knew everything. And
I was going to say, because normal accountants don't do that. You can't. You want your accountant to be your financial director, really.
That's it. Even every time there's a new budget, we got an email out with anything that affected us specifically, which was amazing. And then so we ended up getting a new location. I'm looking at different locations. I looked at an old Subway in the city centre that was like 70k a month. I remember
70k a month.
In hindsight,
70K
I can't believe I even considered.
I'm gonna pause on that.
I know. Oh, sorry. No. Apologies. 70k a year.
Oh, right.
I just realised. I just realised that sounded crazy. I was like, 70k a year. That's not that bad. No.
You were thinking, what's wrong with these guys? Why are they stopping these peasant Liverpoolians?
70k a year.
Yeah. But still, that's high.
My previous location is 10k a year.
Yeah, no, it's high.
So it's high, but I'm thinking it's city centre.
Yeah, you can have that.
They've got no brick and mortar vegan fast food, let alone independent.
City centre is that?
Piccadilly Gardens, just off Piccadilly Gardens.
When you said it, I'm thinking, okay, I know it's got to be somewhere with the biggest
footfall's crazy. The tram goes past.
In the middle of 2 train stations, aren't there?
That's it. It's across from a Primark. So I considered it, but ultimately I'm like, even my uneducated brain when it comes to business, I was like, I think that's too much.
Yeah.
Have they got any more locations? Oh, well, this one, it's about to go on the market. The landlord hasn't told his staff that they're leaving, but so we can't go in back and show you. This one's 27k, and I'm like, we can do that. We can do that. We ended up taking that location and moving all of our operation there. and it was beautiful.
Oh, all your operations.
Everything.
So you got left the other shop.
Staff, equipment, everything moves
In
over.
terms of size, on a basic level, is it twice the size of where you were before? More?
It's 3 times the size in the kitchen, so we can handle more. There's a back of house where we can wash up. There's a customer toilet customers can sit in.
Yeah.
And you have like office space or anything like that there?
Nothing.
Just straight.
But he can live in his house now without chip fire pens.
And it was
Did you
good.
move house, by the way? Or are you still there at this point?
At this point, we're still in that house. We're still in that house. And yeah, it was good. It was still, we had one employee. At this point, it was myself, Saffron, and one employee that were taking over. 2 others had been let go. And then as we've just gotten the keys, our friends, I'm in town, I want to come see it. She comes and sees the employee, hands in a notice. Things are changing and we're like, okay.
So when they do that, you know.
Yeah, like,
I get really personally affected by employee decisions.
Yeah, like, that's interesting that we've just got in the shop and this is the time you want to leave. But, you know, life goes on. Okay, was she the best? Do you think? So we're aggressively hiring now. On top of that, we can't afford a fit out. We've just spent, and I mean everything in the company bank accounts on the deposit.
I was just going to ask you about money at this point. You'd bootstrapped at this point.
Completely bootstrapped.
Any savings and anything to fall back on? Or
no savings. Myself, no savings. Saffron, no savings. Completely bootstrapped. We got some money in the business bank account that's been saved up, obviously, from doing so well over COVID. That all went on the deposit. The deposit was significantly higher than I think industry average because the landlord's obviously taken a big risk on this company that was formed 2 years ago
in a flat
vegan fast food. Next door we got Pret, there's Barbaritos, there's Pizza Express. They're like, never heard of you guys, but do you know what, I like this. The landlord was like, this is cool, why not, let's prime COVID, I don't think anyone else is going to want it, high street, so let's do it. All the money, and I mean every single penny goes on the deposit. So whilst we're, trading and money's still coming in, but we've spent everything, we're using every little money that we can to do up the shop. I'm doing it all by myself. My partner, Saffron's pregnant at this point, so I don't really want her around power tools and paint and stuff like that.
Definitely needed something else to throw in the mix there. Just make it more of a challenging time.
Why not?
Cruising at this point.
That's it. Why not? Let's try for a baby. Yeah. Life's a bit too easy right now. Let's try for a baby.
It was then when you were getting the 5 figures and that.
Yeah, that's it. I got a bit gassed. I said, come on, let's settle down. So I'm doing up all the shop myself, straight on YouTube, learned how to build a shop counter.
Wow.
Learn how to do basic electrical.
Yeah. I can ask you something, during this, what is your contingency with the business? Are you still open? Are you still delivering orders even though you like the suite? Okay.
From the other location still, but it's on the end of it, obviously, And the plan was to get it open. When you sign a commercial lease, you can get a month free rent for every year that you sign. We signed, this was a 10-year lease, 5-year break clause. So the average, the landlord will let you have 5, will treat it as the lease as 5 years technically because you can leave. So he was like, you can have 5 months free rent.
Oh, right, okay.
So that was
if we get open within a month, we've got 4 months of trading.
That's how you were thinking with
I need to get the shop open. So I'm on every day. I'm on, YouTube, learn shop counter. We clean the floors, building the shop counter. I
believe builders and plumbers are saying YouTube's actually killing them though.
Yeah,
because people learn how to do everything.
You have to. And then in my mind, my thing has always been, especially when it comes to electric and plumbing, I'll do it.
You do the electrics?
And then I'll get an electrician
to fix it. Just
because it's cheaper to fix.
If there's anything. Yeah.
So I did a really good job.
Electrics though. You can die from that though, can't you?
Got a story for you later. We opened up another location. We'll get there. That was the London location. So at this point I did it all. We did it all. Luckily, within about a month and a bit, we opened and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Opened up in start of summer in Manchester City Centre, Piccadilly Gardens. It was beautiful. There was a plant-based, black and brown owned, plant-based restaurant in the heart of Manchester. No one had ever seen anything like it. And it was ours, something that we built with our own hands, no help. And it was amazing. Things were flying. We lost a lot of our customers, obviously, that was used to picking up from our other location because you can't park in town now. Bus lanes and cameras everywhere. But we're still killing it. There's office. Some people are back in the office, but not a lot. But still, we're doing really well. Like numbers have like doubled now. Yeah. We're doing way more numbers than we did at our smaller site. Obviously, we're open from 8 a.m. at this point. We've introduced our breakfast menu. We've copied McDonald's. We're doing pancakes. We do the thing called a shack muffin. We're doing breakfast bagels, and we're doing extremely well. Yeah. And it just seems like, I guess we can't come down from this high.
And what's that monthly income looking like now?
At this point, we're doing. You get rolling I remember the peak summer we topped 40k. We made 40k. Myself and Saffron are working. We've got around 2 or 3 employees at this point. We don't have any drivers because now we've signed an exclusivity deal with Uber Eats. Yeah. They paid us $5,000 to go exclusive.
Oh, did they? Go on.
Dove at the choice.
Yeah.
So things are going good. Obviously our bills are more now. So, but we're still good. We're making about 40k. Yeah, we're still profitable. We've been profitable since day one, luckily, at Vegan Shack at this point. Things are going really well. Yeah. We got a city centre location. We're still paying rent on our old location because I didn't want to get rid of it. The plan was always to reopen it once we're settled. So I wanted to keep a hold of that location, the smaller site. Saffron's pregnant. Yeah. We're just about to move. We're looking for a house now because I'm like, you're pregnant, baby. We can't live in that place anymore. We need a house. So things are good. Right now, the stress and the pressure is we need to get you off the shop floor as soon as because you're heavily pregnant. Yeah. So that was the stress. We need to hire so that when baby comes in, I can take paternity and you can just stop working and focus on being the incredible mum that she is. So that was the stress. Luckily, we managed to do it. Saffron worked until 2 weeks, 2 weeks giving birth. Yeah. Bless her.
I thought you were about to say 2 weeks after.
No, she's still, get back on the shop floor. No, she worked. We was working every single day. Her feet and legs were so swollen. Wow. Yeah. We wasn't giving ourselves lunch breaks. We'll take our lunch breaks under the counter. Yeah. It was a heat wave in Manchester at that point. I didn't know I had to pay for the air conditioning unit. Yeah. Did you know air conditioning units cost 5,000 English pounds? Where am I going to get? Yeah. We ended up having to sort that out.
This feels like the most thing that hurt you there about the value.
£5,000 you didn't plan for, and you're like, no.
Well, plan for everything else.
Manchester, you don't have to really plan for that.
So ended up going to Whole Foods, getting some fans, the big fans. They were like 30 quid. Got 2 of those, but then I'm realizing they're just blowing hot air into our customers' faces. So ended up having to invest in that. Luckily, we managed, again, our revenue's up. So eventually we can put money aside each month, and we ended up getting a $5,000 air conditioning unit. Had to be done for the customers. And then, again, things are flying. Saffron stops working now. We have baby girl and things are looking up. And then, we get the call from London. Have you ever thought about opening up in Box Park?
So who calls you from London? The fellow who runs Box Park?
Yes.
I have met him actually because we've got a Box Park here.
Oh, yeah, you have? Yeah. Oh, yeah, amazing. Yeah, so explore Box Park.
Did you negotiate that deal, while you were in Park?
I didn't negotiate. The director of regeneration negotiated the deal. Yeah.
That's so funny. I actually put my name in the hat for... to be at Vegan Shack here, when we was in London, because we obviously all the traders got the word first. Here's a special application if you want to open up another site. You get priority type thing.
Liverpool would have been better for you, wouldn't it, than London?
It would have. Hindsight. And then along our journey, there was a really popular place in Manchester called Frost Burgers, completely plant-based, cool, edgy. The owner had like these sick tattoos, big following online. They closed. So in my mind, we need Liverpool. They're underserved. They've heard of Vegan Shack kind of, because Manchester is so close. We need to open up, but we never got there in the end. But
we did have one, I think, was she Crosby by? She was really good. I just heard about her closing down, but she was really good. And people who were around me who were vegans really raved over it. And I went to try it close down, but I just remember her Instagram message: "I just can't make this work anymore," which happens with a lot of hospitality businesses.
Yeah, they hang on till the last, literally the
Yeah.
last second, and then they're like, we just can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we moved to London. We get this opportunity. We go to London to view it. I really wanted Box Park Shoreditch, but we got offered Box Park Croydon.
Yeah.
But there was another plant-based trader at the time there, and they were doing really well. So I thought, surely there's a market for it. So we decided to go for it. We made the decision to move to London. Me, Saffron, baby girl.
Physically move?
Yeah, we go to London for a year.
Wow.
To get it up and running. I'll work every single day. I can build the counter, do the flooring.
London's so much more expensive, is it, than Manchester to live? Or?
Yeah, extremely expensive. But I thought it's still going to be cheaper for me to run it than to get the team from day one. Because I'll need a full team from day one. And then
you want your touch on it, don't you? You want to make sure
that's
it's right.
it. I want to meet the customers first. And I'm in my mind, let's copy and paste what worked in Manchester. I want the customers to meet me, see how excited I am about this business and our offering and our product. I want to be cooking the food.
Are your customers up north the same as your customers down south?
No, I didn't know that the people, I think it might be the water or...
Yeah, no, definitely.
Northerners and
Southerners.
Londoners or Southerners. I think it's just
different.
Yeah, very different. I think Manchester, I always say, Vegan Shack wouldn't have worked in any other city than Manchester.
I think it's worked here.
Yeah. Liverpool would have had your back.
But I know what you're saying, almost like it needed to be built out of a place like Manchester or Northern City, whatever. Yeah.
Because there was a lot of... Like at the start of this business, obviously, I'm a 6'7" black guy.
6'7"?
Oh yeah, 6'7" and a half. But I don't need that, so I just say 6'7". 6'7".
I'm already told you need that. I need that. But I'll take your whole bench.
6'7" black guy cooking food from my apartment, meeting customers for collection in an alley. I don't know how this is going to do well. No one battered an eye. They celebrated it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would have worked here because we wouldn't have batted an eye.
Didn't bat an eye.
You look like, to be fair, you like one of those civilized ones that you meet an alley and you'd be like, he's actually going to rob me or do anything.
No, throws a vegan burger at you.
I'm like, all right, is it vegan?
Exchanging cash in this
alleyway.
Yeah, so it was a bit, but Manchester,
animal blood running around his body. He's all right, you know what I mean?
But yeah, Manchester, literally open arms, just thrived. And then, so we're in London. We moved to Croydon.
There's also, isn't there, I do like Shoreditch, and I know Croydon less. I do find Shoreditch. I was doing something for you Shoreditch the other week. There's a nice vibe to it, isn't there?
It's edgy, it's cool.
There's other options, though, isn't there? And I don't just mean from a vegan perspective. It's just London. There's just more choice of everything,
that's
isn't there?
It. And then that's one thing that really shook me. So we got the shop open. I'm working every single day. Saffron's at home with baby. Luckily, we moved right next to Box Park, so it's not far. I'm just walking to work. It's literally like 3 or 4 streets away.
Sorry, can I just ask what your rent is at this time?
So we moved into a house, turned into an apartment. We took the upstairs apartment. It was a 2-bed flat, and we paid 1,500. And I remember it blew my mind. We just left a 3-bed new bid house in Worsley that we was paying £880 a month for. We had a back garden. We had a drive.
Did you keep the house up in Manchester and rent it out?
Another mistake. We didn't. We should have kept it. We should have just kept the lease at least and not lived in there and I don't know, figured that out. Because when we moved back to Manchester a year later, the rent
was just gone wild, hasn't it?
That's what I was thinking.
I said we've just come from London. I thought you guys were different. But we was paying that for the house. It was actually a really nice flat in London. But so we're in London now. And then I've done the shop, I've done the flooring, I've done the cladding on the walls. I've done everything. We're open, we're trading. And then luckily we had a bit of, I had a few viral videos on TikTok and stuff like that. So we're getting customers and we're building. What year is this,
sorry, now?
This is 2022.
Okay. So still a bit COVID?
23.
So just after COVID?
Yeah, it was 23.
Yeah.
So we just opened up and it's doing good. But London's just different. I noticed, especially in a food hall, I'm seeing customers approach and then just move on to the next. And I'm like, okay, this might be a bit more of a fight. It's more of an attention thing. I was like, I'm not used to this. I'm used to, this is cool and new.
Yeah.
Let's go and support them.
Yeah.
Community element.
In London, it's I'm busy. What can... So that was the first time where I was like, okay, cool. It's like we have to compete for whoever's walked into this food hall.
The shops are still open in Manchester, though.
Shop's still open. Shop's still open. So again, we've got a manager that we promoted. We've got like a supervisor, team leader that's run itself. That actually did an incredible job while we was in London handling this.
The box park thing's hard as well, isn't it? Because it's like you're in that food hall.
Yes.
You lose a bit of your branding power because you have everybody their branding kind of thing.
That's it. And it's, I think from a customer point of view is they're heading to Box Park. They're heading to a food hall. It's not, I'm heading to Vegan Shack.
Yeah.
So it was good. But yeah, that lunch rush was very tricky. Luckily, we managed to, the customers that did like Vegan Shack didn't go anywhere else. We would see them nearly every day, which was good. Oh, cool. There was a few like builders that was working nearby. I remember they would come every single day as well on their lunch, which was nice to see them. Another thing that, I don't know why I didn't expect this, but as soon as the lunch rush is over and it gets to the afternoon, early evenings, people are coming to Box Park to drink. They're not coming to eat. And if they do want to eat...
It's not vegan food.
It's not vegan food. It's not finger foods. They just want a pizza.
Yeah.
And there's a pizza place. They did very well.
Yeah.
The bar did very well. But I'm like, okay, I didn't expect this. This has been very expensive to sort out. My rent's very expensive. The fit out was... all of the equipment that I was buying and the flooring and stuff, very expensive. I didn't expect it to be like this. This was the first time, because we had now been trading long enough that the company had some sort of visibility and credit. Yeah. This was the first time that we leased equipment, because obviously we got lucky with the previous locations. Yeah. So this was the first time that I took on, I guess, debt. Or like an overhead that was every month we need that money. So
sorry, where did you get the money from? Did you go to the bank or
no? So this was just a lease. You leased the
equipment.
It was a big monthly payment.
Like same way you lease a car. So
that's
you have
right.
to
so I think it was around £600 a month.
Right. Okay.
Overhead every single month to pay, but previously we didn't have that. We just had rent. Electricity. That's the only overhead that we really had, obviously wages. So we did that, and then this is we start to realize we don't know how well we're going to do in London. Yeah. We had recurring customers and people that would order on Uber Eats and delivery all the time. It just wasn't enough for the rent. And they take a percentage of your takings. You have to pay rent, and then you also have to pay utilities. But never mind, I'm thinking, let's give it a really good go. So I'm hiring staff, I'm training staff every day, hiring staff, and we get to the point where we built a really good team, and we seem to be doing okay. I still want us to be doing better, but we're doing okay. So
okay meaning in profit? We're
breaking even every month.
And Manchester's profitable, so that's all.
That's it. Okay. That's it. We're breaking even every month, and I'm thinking it's maybe just a timing thing. So more time, we might, if we get to the point where we can break our lease, if we're doing very well, that can be the decision point. We stay or we leave. But as long as we're breaking even, I'm happy with that actually. Yeah. So we're breaking even. That's sweet. We need to get a manager. So we've nearly done a year. We need to go back to Manchester to open up our third site, to reopen our original location. It's time now. So
you kept it all that time?
Yeah. Kept it all that time.
I like the original location. I don't even know where it is.
Yeah, me too.
No, I've got an
affection for it.
So we're going to do like a high vegan, you sit down, it's going to be the highest quality thing.
So we hire this manager. Luckily the other plant-based place that was trading at the food hall, they leave. They're unhappy about us being in the same place as them. They have a spat with the landlord. They leave. Sound nothing to do with us. We didn't force anyone to let us be here. But whilst they were leaving, their manager comes in on the day that she found out she was getting fired. She was like, well, we're being getting sacked. And I was like, well, I'm looking for a manager if you want a job. I know you can do vegan fast food. So you don't sound, you can have a job straight away. She's like, oh my God, amazing. Thank you. So I was like, let's make her the manager. She's the out. She's like 40, 50. Experience, buzzing, she wants full time. I'm like, sound. We hire her, we train her, things are going good. It's time for us to go back to Manchester and open our third site. Within a month, we hear murmurs, staff are not happy, things are going wrong. And we're like, oh God, this is like the first time we've ever dealt with anything like this. And then we get one of the staff members hands in her notice and we're like, we can't lose you. What has happened? Please, can we call you? We call her. Turns out this manager is not only been mocking Uber Eats delivery riders' accents, is apparently been going on rants about how black and brown people need to respect British ways. And bear in mind, she's the only non-white person working in that location. Sorry, she's the only white person. Everyone else is black or brown.
Yeah.
Immigrant parents with accents, and thinking, well, I don't want my parent to come in and see me at work now. If you're so really, but obviously we fired her that same evening. But now we've just moved back to Manchester. We have a location with no manager and part-time staff. We have no idea what to do. So we're like, all we know is that we need to fire this manager. Yeah. And she can't come back to work. We've told her that you can't contact any of the staff. This has happened. Obviously, she denies. And then in the morning, apologized. I was only joking. I didn't mean it to did it. I was like, okay, but jokes have to be funny. And that wasn't funny. So we're gonna stick with that decision. So that's done. But yeah, now we have a site.
I know, what's wrong with someone who's racist going to work for someone who's like, leave us alone? Like, what's the matter with you?
I don't understand. I don't mocking their accents and they need to respect British. I'm thinking, what? You can't say that to black and brown staff. Number
I know, but
one.
you know what? I think sometimes,
18-year-olds, all the staff.
Sometimes I think they feel, even though you're black, that like you're all right. You're not like them. You're like us. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes they get in the mindset that foreign people are what I'm racist against. He's all right because he speaks English.
Yeah,
do you know what
it's
I mean?
a weird disconnect that they have in their brain, not realizing that no, that's not how the world sees it. You just see the world like that.
I remember getting out of a taxi in London years ago going, do you think this is a perm? Because he's just going on. Well, I had to stop getting taxis at one time. I've done equality, diversity, inclusion for years. So if they asked me my job, in the end I had to say bar work because I've started saying I work in equality.
Then you want to go and have a...
Do you think it's right? You know what I mean? So I had to think, but the racist taxi driver... the racist taxi... Well, no one asked you about working in a bar. Racist taxi drivers, absolute nightmare, especially in London. I used to get quite a few of them. But sorry, go on. I digress.
No, it was bad. But yeah, and then... So yeah, we've got a location, no manager. And it's becoming clear to us that this is not going to work. We're trying to promote from within. Can I just ask
about Box Park as well? Like, are you in a contract with them to be a certain
time? Yeah. It's a full-on lease. I thought it'd be like an agreement, but relaxed. But it was from early on. It was a full-on lease. So we've got about a year left of this lease. About a year and a half left of this lease. So we can't close. Yeah. We have no idea what to do. We've got a location with no manager, unhappy staff that have just gone through something traumatic. Again, the girls are like 17, 18. Yeah. This manager was like 40, technically been bullied at work. So it's not easy to recover from. I'm guessing morale's down. And on top of that, they've got no one to lead them. Yeah. So, and we feel bad because we've just left these girls that we've like grown really close to and Saffron's worked with them and I've worked with them and they really liked Saffron. They really liked me. And I felt bad for leaving them in the hands of someone that was racist. So,
the way you say that, by the way you say that's bad.
Unknowingly racist. That all started when we left.
There's a babysitter for you.
Yeah. She's sound though. She'll look after you. Yeah, just don't put on any accents. And then that was the start of things not going too well for us. There was initial conversations with like the landlord about us leaving, but it was all verbal. And my understanding of it, which might not have been accurate, but my understanding was we got the go-ahead and I wouldn't have made this decision if I didn't truly believe we got the go-ahead. So we closed and I thought that was sound. We'd been closed for like 4 months and then I get an email saying, noticed you guys have not been open. What's happening when you reopening? And we've spoken to blah, blah, blah and everything's fine. Oh no, you need to reopen. And I'm like, we have no staff, no equipment. All the equipment's back in Manchester at this point. We have nothing there. We cannot. And the reason is because we got told that it was fine. So so we ended up still having to pay rent for that location and solicitor fees. And at the same time, we're trying to find a new tenant for that unit, as well as run a new location. Our Manchester one.
Shop back up now.
So the financial side of that was a lot. We ended up being able to break the lease with a new tenant, but when you break a lease...
that's what they try to do, isn't it? You find someone to go in there.
Or we'll find them, but you need to cover the cost of everything. which at this point I was just happy to do.
Yeah.
To try and stop the bleeding. But you need to pay for your solicitor's fees. You need to pay for the incoming tenant solicitor fees.
Wow.
You need to pay for the incoming tenant's free rent period because you got a free rent period.
Wow.
The landlord doesn't want to pay for 2 of them. So that all came at once. So you have to pay all of that just to be done with it.
You feel like you're being shafted a little bit, though, even though it's a contract you've entered into.
That's it.
It ends up like it's not balanced, is it?
It wasn't. Yeah. No, it felt very unfair at the time, especially the conversations that we had. And I'm just gutted we didn't have it on paper. But you think, of course, they're going to stick to their word, and they didn't. And so that ended up being very costly. So we're trying to recover from that, and still run the business, and we're doing really well. And then around that time, again, another thing that you can't account for. I did a video of this on TikTok of things you can't account for in business. But one day I get an email. Some utilities were miscalculated during the early COVID period.
Kills everyone.
And we miscalculated your electricity. So this is what you actually owe us.
I think it should be against the law for them.
100%.
Because it happens to so many people and it's their mistake.
Yeah.
And you're living your life and thinking you're all right.
It's been a year.
Hit you with the bills that cost grands.
It's been a year.
And of course, there was an energy crisis around this time.
There was, So at that time, our electricity prices have gone from around $1,500 a month to, at the peak, it was £4,000 a month. So already that's wiping out any business with like a 20% margin, 10% net profit margin that is good in business. That's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone already, and you couldn't have accounted for it. So I get this email saying we miscalculated some electricity from the COVID era. You owe £24,000, and I'm like, no.
And those letters come on the day where you just open it, not thinking anything of it, and then it's like,
I got an email from this landlord. Oh, amazing! Let me see.
I don't think they should be allowed to do it.
And then so
I think they should. It should just be there.
And that's from your first location, isn't
so
it?
that's from our biggest location.
Oh, the one where you moved to the bigger. Okay,
Piccadilly.
That's the one in Piccadilly Gardens, our biggest location. That we're still in. We don't. If we do anything wrong to this landlord, they're going to close. We're relying on this.
Like your profit, isn't it?
For the whole year. Yeah. That would be a profit for a whole year, realistically. So we have no idea what to do. We ask for some time. They obviously say, totally understandable. We'll give you some time. They didn't give us as much as I would like to, but luckily for us at this point, we started to raise investment to really grow the business. We built an incredible brand. From nothing, all completely bootstrapped. Luckily, a lot of investors managed to see some.
So, who are these investors? Sorry, like VCs?
So this was Crowdcube.
Okay.
So a crowdfunding platform, but what they need you to do is find lead investment. A lot of people don't know this, but when you go onto Crowdcube, they like you to go live with around 90% of your funding already raised. Yeah. So when you go live with 90%, it's like a psychological thing to investors online. They just want to fill up that 10%, but then you go into overfunding. Yeah. So they ask, how much are you willing to give away if you go into overfunding? We're like, we're not bothered. We'll just turn it off when the campaign ends. We ended up overfunding around 120%, I think we raised in the end. So we found our lead investors just through outreach, managed to close our round on Crowdcube, luckily. And again, we're in this position. The start to finish campaign took just under a year, but on top of that, we're fighting fires left and right. We've got this landlord issue, and then we get this email with it. So there's so much going on. So in my mind, I'm thinking we need all of this money to fund growth. Yeah. But when we close this round and we finally receive the money, it's just not that we. It turns out we actually need to spend some of this on the debt to be able to get to the point we need to be.
Just explain Crowdcube a little bit. Yeah. And also, what did you have to give for the money that you had?
Yeah, so it was an equity investment. Yeah. Crowdcube is a crowdfunding platform. Anyone, as long as you create an account and pass the investor questions that they ask to make sure you know what you're doing, you can invest in any companies. Some amazing companies have been on there, like Revolut, and I think Heights have been on there. Some amazing companies have been on there and gone to be really successful. And at that time, there was quite a lot of plant-based fast food places. There was a bit of a race. I don't know if anyone can remember this. There was Vegan Shack. There was Neat Burger in London. There was Halo Burger in London. There was a new company called, I forgot, Ready Burger. Yeah. raised millions of pounds. It was a carbon copy of McDonald's.
Right,
you could get the same menu, but it was all vegan for the same price. It was mind-blowing. They were raising at the time, and it was a bit of a race.
So is there a lot of new players in the market at this time?
A lot of new players with more money. Everyone was, most of them were either investment or VC-backed.
Yeah.
Especially Neat Burger, they had like Lewis Hamilton as investors. They had Leo DiCaprio as investors. They raised tens of millions. We were the only ones about to raise our first round, completely bootstrapped. So I think a lot of investors saw the potential in that. We were vegan founded. We were, black and brown. No one else in that industry was. So I think a lot of people took a chance on us. We were really grateful for, and the plan was to grow the business.
How does it work? If I'm funding. If I want to put money into Vegan Shack, am I given a share or am I given
so it's equity, so you get shares. So we I think we around 20% of the company. We had gotten a £1.4 million valuation,
right? Okay.
Which was calculated by revenue per store, and then how many we want to open up. And that's how the multiple was done.
And that was for growth. That was like a growth plan.
Growth. At this point, Vegan Shack was just breaking even. Because obviously in our first year, we was hugely profitable. But at this point now, we're funding growth. So we're spending everything on new locations and staff and equipment and stuff. So, but that was the understanding. We need our valuation is going to be a revenue-based valuation because we're funding growth, which is done. A lot of companies aren't profitable because the name of the game is, you get to a certain point where you can start to turn the cogs and you can be profitable at any point.
So people forecast when the profit will be.
That's it. Because when we get to 3, 4, 5 locations, you can start to get cheaper goods.
Well, then one-off costs to develop the locations have been paid and that's being paid off.
Exactly.
And then,
you get, so all your operational costs become cheaper the bigger you get, and you can decide when that is, and then that's when it's profitable. But you need to get to that point. That's it. Economies of scale. That was the term I was looking for.
Tesco's anymore.
That's it. Economies of scale. You get to a certain point, and you can renegotiate everything. And now again, a key turn operation, and you're profitable. So. We raised a round. It was successful. We raised £200,000 all in at £1.4 million pre-money valuation. And it was amazing. Very grateful. And then almost immediately it was like things are going out, solicitors, this debt that we had to pay because they're really putting the pressure on, we can just close put a repossession order on your shop, and we're like, well, no, it's our flagship. We need it. So we need to take care of that.
Didn't you consider, when it was valued at 1.4 million, didn't you consider selling it at that point?
I should have sold it at that point.
So
it's only coming to me now through, all the comments that I've been receiving on TikTok and Instagram of people being like, you should actually sell a business on your way to where you see it going.
But, having a mindset, so we've got real founder syndrome up north. I think, well, certainly in Liverpool and Liverpool City region, people aren't going into business to sell it. You don't even think of it. The goal to be, I'm going to sell this for a couple of million in a few years' time. I'm going to sit on the beach and then I've exited the business. And someone says exited the business the other week. I realised they were from Manchester. You don't hear that. I know one person.
But I think I can imagine you've done all that groundwork in that 7th floor flat.
Give it up.
It's your idea.
No one's going to do it
with your partner. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it must be like
going to do it like we're doing it. And in my mind is, again, at the time I'm looking at Pinky Cole, who creates Slotty Vegan in Atlanta. She's currently at that time she was at like location 7, just been valued at £100 million and got a partnership with Shake Shack. And I'm thinking, all we need to get is to 5 or 6 locations, and then we can either sell the business, or we're making so much money that we want to keep it and just keep on growing it and bring some cool partners on board. And I want to be the UK Slotty Vegan. But again, hindsight's everything, and that's the point that strange, you should actually sell a business.
The UK Slotty Vegan.
The UK
so many quotables.
The UK Slotty Vegan.
The Slotty Vegan is a popular plant-based restaurant in America for anyone watching at home, run by Pinky Cole. It's amazing. That's just the name of it. They sell food. That's all they sell.
Atlanta as well.
Yeah, in Atlanta. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Magic City and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it is great in hindsight, but was it even in your sort of, was it even in your vision?
It wasn't. This whole topic of raising investment, fundraising, new to me. I've never raised anything in my entire life. It was all new. And then I was like, let me just raise an investment in equity. It's all scary to people that look like me, come from my background. You don't understand any of it. Yeah. What do you mean borrowing and loan? So it took a lot for me. I jumped on a call with the crowdfunding platform, and I just said, explain it to me. I don't understand this world. And it just sounded so much easier.
Well, I was going to invite you yesterday, actually, but I was thinking, do you know what, he's coming to Liverpool one day at a time, might be enough. We've done a reverse pitch day yesterday where the loads of investors pitched to black businesses rather than the other way around. And, I know it was so much for people. It was 11 investors and all different types. And I know it's so much to take in. But I know that next time they hear about investments, they'll know a little bit more and a little bit more.
That is it. That is it. And I never had that. Yeah, I never had that. So it was new to me, and I just really wanted to go for it. And I thought, this is gonna fun. I've been hustling for so long, and it's time to stop hustling, get a nice little piggy bank to sit on, and then I can run the business proper. So selling wasn't even in my mind at that point. I was like, I need this investment to be able to sell in 5 years time or 4 years time. So selling at that point wasn't in my mind. So got the investment. A bunch of it went out obviously straight away on operational costs, bills, and we got rid of all the bad stuff that were creeping on us because we spent everything on growing and closing this location. Let's get to work now. And then just didn't go the way I think. And then now you're just dealing with just the natural, things that's going to happen to your business with changing trends, changing seasons. People aren't returning to the office as quick enough, and people aren't returning to town.
But also the vegan food business. Just when we were doing some research, and you think there was a boom when you were first setting up, and were you aware it was a boom, or did you just think that's the way it's going now?
So in my mind, it was, this is just the way the food scene going. People are realizing there's more choice. People are realizing they don't need meat. People are realizing that vegan food can be delicious and it's not scary. And we can create the same food that if it's taste that you want when you eat meat, we've got that. Yeah. You've got Vegan Shack. Yeah. With properly seasoned food. It's delicious. Yeah. So I'm thinking this has to be here to stay, because I know veganism's been around for millions of years, right? Yeah. So it's just now becoming more palatable for the people that don't understand it. And at the same time, Greggs have brought out a vegan sausage roll that's killing it.
That was flying.
Killing it. It's making more than anything else they're selling.
People just love Greggs, don't they?
And then there was word of McDonald's launching a vegan burger. The McPlant. And at the time,
so
we didn't know.
The mainstream took it on a bit more.
That's it. Burger King, KFC, they were all bringing out plant-based options. And I'm thinking, sweet, this might be a good angle. I'm thinking, I don't have the money for the education to teach people, but they have. I'll let them educate the masses, and then we'll capitalize on the homegrown Manchester zone. So it just didn't work, and it did for a little bit, and then we saw just a decline of people really misunderstanding vegan food. And if there was vegan in the news, it was about class action lawsuit or lawsuits on people. You're not allowed to call your oat milk, and it's actually really bad for you. And
the confusion then we all ended up
doing. What's that guy's name is it Eddie Abu on TikTok? All that craze of
he's like
carnivore this diet guy. Don't eat all this muck, and he's going into supermarkets saying this is muck, and the rise of men wanting to be macho and testosterone and carnivore diet.
So meat sort of rising again.
But it wasn't just meat.
You need that to fuel.
It wasn't just meat. It was the rise of men not wanting anything that would be associated with being weak. So like soy.
I blame the far right then. Is that what happened?
No. It's so funny. Someone commented this on my TikTok, and it was saying, have you ever been able to pinpoint the rise in far right social commentary to the decline in vegan. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't join the two together.
It's a criticism of the far right, isn't it? They say, oh, what are you, a vegan? Or what's lentils, you lentil eating, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? The woke abuse kinds of thing is, I bet you're a vegan, or I bet you eat lentils.
And then and then it's taken me this long to be like, oh my God, it was literally the rise in, if you're macho, it's carnivore diet at the time, and you're eating off a wooden chopping board. That's what they were all doing on TikTok, and you're working out and stuff. And it was the quick decline of anything plant-based, even though it was just cool a minute ago. It was cool to be ironic and to eat something.
The one shining light in that, there's a documentary on Netflix that a basketball player called Chris Paul, who's a vegan, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and people like that funded it. That was the only shining light in that at the moment. The guy who's the weightlifting champion, he was a vegan. And it was the only shining light in that, where it was like, you can actually be strong. If anything, you know, I think their argument was like, have you ever seen what a cow eats? They're vegans, and they look how and we eat their meat, thinking that's giving us...
It's just reprocessed.
But I thought it was mad, because I was like, I thought that was going to send off a spark of all this, and it didn't do what I thought it would do.
It got the social commentary of, oh wow, this is amazing. Have anyone seen Game Changers on Netflix? Oh my God, you got all these strong people eating plant-based food. And then it just went away.
Impact.
And then it just went away, and so we felt that almost immediately.
And at this point, how many shops, stores?
So we got two.
Okay, you're still at two at this point.
Yeah, we're in Manchester. And so the decline happened almost immediately.
So tell us kinds of, I'm struggling for a word, but emotionally, what kinds of process are you going through now when you sort of realising this is not getting better?
It was tough. It was, again, as the business owner, you're just looking at the numbers, and maybe on a bad month, you're realising that, oh, how come I haven't got enough I can't pay this bill as quickly as I used to, and you're running the numbers, and you're like, oh my God, it's not just a bad month, or it's not a bad quarter. It seems like it's a slow decline, and things are being harder to pay, and you got to really manage your cash flow instead of
cash flow.
I'd never needed to manage the cash flow because there was always a surplus. Another mistake. Always manage your cash flow. Cash flow doesn't mean that you need to, in my mind, it was, I need to be good at paying stuff because every money needs to have a pocket. And it's not that, it's just understanding the flow. There's certain things that you don't have to pay now, and you can pay them later.
Well, it's not just that. Bigger firms don't pay. You know, I went for a position recently, didn't I, where trying to get bigger business over 250 people to pay smaller businesses within 30 days, because they try and pay in 60 and 90 days. But, you know, you're a little business who's paid that all out, that crushes you.
That's
you know
it.
What I mean? But I used to steal my husband's credit cards when I first had 5 staff to pay. I used to get cash out on a credit card to pay staff. But that's why I know, I just like, but that now that I won't have staff, I'll work with associates and I'll do things in a relationship like that, because that kept me up at night. It wasn't even like I didn't have any money. It's like I couldn't bear the thought of not paying staff. That's something I like to avoid. I thought I was bad at business because of cash flow, because of people not paying, when actually I delivered the work. I just wasn't getting paid.
Just knowing when the money's coming in, when it's coming in, what you can hold on to, what you can think.
I didn't understand it until I had to learn it whilst it was happening to me. And if you want to understand cash flow as you're having cash flow issues, you're already on your way to being done. It's the worst time to try and learn cash flow, because the only thing you're going to learn is that you're in trouble.
So how much money have you borrowed by this time, or what do you owe? Is it,
we still don't owe a single penny. We don't have any loans. We don't have, the only money we have is the bootstrap money and the investment money that we've had into the business, which was for equity. So we don't have to pay that back. So, but we're still struggling with overheads, and overheads can quickly turn into debt when you're surpassing when you should have paid it by.
Well, not enough's coming into.
And again, as your business gets bigger, your people are fine being paid like quarterly. But it's a big payments. They're big payments. You're not paying. It's not like paying your house rent. Where it comes out every month. You can pay it every quarter, but you're paying your rent, electricity, other utilities, insurance. And business, it's big payments. So we're talking 5 figures every quarter, big high figures every quarter. that your cash flow could handle, but now it's not where it needs to be.
And even now, I'm not in that position, but as soon as I get a payment from VAT, I have to hide the VAT money in a different account. And I'm hiding it from myself. And, you know, in terms of...
But,
like,
you know, because it's going to come around.
Well, I won't have to pay as much because I've paid VAT, but I go, well, that's good. So then I've got I've got the thingy, but I have to literally hide it for myself because I used to just treat it like it was all the money that was in the pot, and it wasn't. And I hate them big bills. I really,
they're again, it's unfortunately just part of business, but they just loom over you, and then you pay them one quarter, and then the only thing mentally that you can focus on is trying to work out the next quarter where the business is going to be. And I remember January, when the quarter would come around to January for hospitality and for Vegan Shack was terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
December, January was terrible because everyone's going to Christmas parties, they're going to restaurants, and they're not going to fast food.
And then
January, people spend everything from Christmas. They don't want fast food. They're trying to be healthy, and it's Veganuary, but they're trying to be healthy again. They're back in the gym, so they're not eating a Vegan Shack. So
or not eating out.
So it was very tough. And at this point, again, my mind's just working overtime, trying to figure out how we're trying new menu ideas, and we're just trying to do anything we can do to just revive not veganism, but our spin on it, what we brought to Manchester, what we brought to our customers, because that's how we got there in the first place. So we're trying to give them something. You might not be asked about vegan food, but I think we can convince you to be asked about Vegan Shack. So we're trying to do that, and
but you're trying to replicate something that's just not happening.
And it's just, we're still just coasting at this point. Slowly over time, I'm putting money myself into the business, and it's just tough. It's just getting more and more tough. And we make the decision to close our Piccadilly Garden site. We go back to Collyhurst. I'm like, this is the reason. The universe didn't let me let go of it. Let's go back to what worked. And now we've built this amazing brand. We're known all over the UK. Let's go back. We don't need this many staff. We go back to what works, and then we do that. So we look into closing our Piccadilly Gardens location to, again, save the business, because it's either that or we have to close the business because we can't. I don't see us being able to afford going to the end of this lease. So we need to break this lease and leave. We speak to the landlord. You can break the lease. Of course, you can break the lease. We need to run through some of these numbers, though. I've never seen a bill that high in my entire life. It cost, all in all, it ended up costing us around £40,000 to break that lease, which obviously completely wiped us out. But it was either that was going to wipe us out,
or
we was going to
work hard and still be wiped out.
We was going to drown on the lease where I'm the guarantor. So we had to leave. And again, it was a very long process. Same thing. You pay for the incoming tenants' solicitor fees. You pay re-advertising fees.
I'm never getting a lease.
You pay for their free rent period, which I've just explained how big that is because it's a 10-year lease. So you're paying for 6 months of a commercial city centre location up front. And it's just a lot. And then on top of that, you've got to clear any arrears that you've got until that point. You've got to, even if you've left and there's still a few months while they're sorting out the new tenant, they want their rent payment. They want their utility payment. So you have to pay all of that, business rates. All in all, around 40-something thousand pounds that I ended up paying in like smaller payments, but they need it there and then if you want it to go forward. So, but we did it, and we've left, and we're back in our original site, and we're like, let's do this. Come on, we can do this. It's Vegan Shack. And
where are we up to now? What year are we in now?
This is 2020. This is 2025. We're 2025, and we're fully back in our Collyhurst, our original site. It's a small brick and mortar site. We only need 2 people working on shift at a time, and we're doing good. Customers are coming in, and we're still getting the love. We're still doing really good on Uber Eats and delivery because luckily we've still got city centre radius because we're so close to town. So no one's going underserved apart from the lunch rush, and opening hours are a bit different. But we just never recovered. I don't know what business can recover from that amount of financial burden and outgoings just to get to a position where we can breathe again. But you're not breathing because you're just wounded from everything you've gone through.
Emotionally and physically, the stress and the toll. And you don't view life, you don't view decisions in the same way, do you?
No, you really don't. And the whole business is just different now because we've taken some blows and it's different. We're losing customers. The communication around our how we're moving wasn't clear for some reason to some customers. And where's Vegan Chat gone? I think they've closed. And we're like, no. We've explained and we had a sign up and we've been communicating on social media.
Out messages landing are two different things.
You should have maybe I don't know. You didn't get the newsletters or you didn't see the social media posts. But we're still there, but it's not communicating well enough. And again, slow decline. And it got to the point where we made the decision we have to liquidate this business. We've got to close this business. The plan was always to close the business. We needed to get a last bit of funding. I don't know where we're going to find it, but I feel like I can find it. This is what I do. I can figure it out. We were supposed to, let go of all the staff. That was the plan. Myself, Saffron, and our manager was like, we're going to let go of all the staff, announce that we're closing. And then our manager was going to work the last remaining couple of months. And then we closed the business and, done. But we let go of all the staff. We was about to start with just our manager working and she hands in her sick note, which the day before I said to my fiance, Saffron, I feel like as soon as we let go of everyone, it's their last day working. She's going to hand in a sick note. So, babe, no, you would not do that to us. Been with us from the start. Sick note saying it's too stressful, which it has been extremely stressful. You just found out you're being made redundant and stuff, and I get it.
Say, full employee,
but
so
that means you've got to
rights, you're going to pay.
Yeah. And I'm like, I get it. This is all stressful. I get it. But handed in a sick note. So we've got to close this business. Oh my God. We've got to close right now. We've just announced it to social media. We're closing at the end of the month. We're going to get a nice bit of cash. We can take care of all of our financial obligations. No one's going to be left with their hands out. Our suppliers are paid. Everything's going to be taken care of. But no, we had to close immediately. So we didn't get that last bit of funding that we was planning on getting. We didn't manage to get because we had to be honest and say we're closing. We didn't manage to make 2 months worth of closing down like sales. Our revenue would have gone through the roof. Last Vegan Shack. So we had to put ourselves voluntary liquidation, they call it. That's when you yourself put the company into liquidation instead of a debtor saying. A bit
like bankruptcy, voluntary. So what does that involve and how much do you know?
So you call up any liquidation company, we want to put our company into liquidation. They assess the situation, speak to you, find out why and stuff like that. And that's it. They basically look at your case, agree to take it on. And then, because at that point we owed wages, because obviously you owe redundancy. Any holidays that were untaken, you need to pay. And then on top of that, we owed suppliers. We kept on getting deliveries. You were
anticipating for the 2 months, The income
our stock was fridges, freezers full. On the day of closure, we had a big delivery, like £1,000 worth of goods being delivered that got left out on the shop floor too, because the person that went home after handing in a sick note didn't put anything away. That's all gone to it. It was a lot. So we owed supplies, we owed HMRC, obviously. We still owed for PAYE and stuff like that. And
that's the other bill I hated years ago. I think
they creep up on you. You don't think about it. You've paid the staff in your mind. You've paid the staff, and it's like no.
You've
still paid pension contributions, HMRC. That comes after. Remember the direct debit? It comes out later. But your brain doesn't work like that. But again, it needs to. Liquidation basically means you get to write off all the debt, but the flip side of that is you hand over everything that you've built to the liquidators. Everything, your stock, any money that you have tied up in deposits, anything in the bank account, equipment, trademarks, everything.
It's trademarks.
And then they wind everything down and pay off everything that they can.
And is the sense of anything left over, or do people get anything back?
There's nothing left over. Employees get made whole first and foremost, and then it's I think it's like suppliers and like landlords that, or landlords can just take anything you've got in a deposit. But I think suppliers are probably the ones that are left with their hands out if there's not enough. But we had quite a lot of equipment and stuff that they've taken it all gone to auction. But it's
got to be sold and all that. Yeah,
that's it. All gone to auction.
So how much, you've mentioned a figure around liquidation, have you?
Yeah, so this liquidation is costing us, I think, let me get the accurate figure. Liquidation can cost anything from like £6,000 to £10,000, which of course it does, but you have to pay that. But the reason you want to be liquidated is because you haven't got money.
Same with bankruptcy, you have to pay £500 when you file for bankruptcy.
Yeah, but luckily when you go into liquidation, they can put themselves on the debtor list. They're just a preferred debtor. So they're first on the list after they've sold. So luckily we went through that route.
Emotionally, what's this? Because you know, you've built up so much.
Turmoil. You go through all the emotions. Even letting the staff know that we're closing Vegan Shack, we survived everything. There was so many big players that tried to open up in Manchester. We outlasted them all. One place opened up in Manchester City Centre. We was kind of worried, but wasn't too worried. They spent like £400,000 on a renovation. They'd done a big show. They didn't even last a year. We outlasted every single one. So to say to the staff, like, it's our time, it was heartbreaking. Saffron was in tears. I don't really cry much, but if I was ever going to cry, it was going to be that. It was tough. So many employees that have, sticking with us and riding with us and telling them in a few months you're not going to have a job, unfortunately, because we're closing down the business. It was a lot, and it was hard, and you don't have time to, like, no one gives you a hug. I'm losing everything.
Being an entrepreneur is very lonely, isn't it? And it's lonely at a lot of times. But imagine when it comes to that. This is not the same, but I've made myself bankrupt in the past, nothing to do with business, but financially bankrupt. And I remember my stepfather saying to me, well, you're not anyone if you haven't been bankrupt a couple of times. And I remember going, oh my God, I feel awful right now. I'm like such a loser. That's made me go. And he's reeling off Alan Sugar. How many times has Trump been bankrupt? Quite a few, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean?
5 times or something.
And he's not doing too bad, is he?
Mine was personal credit card debt. I was just really bad at, and I had no financial literacy, and I just got really
my mum,
difficult.
I remember when I was younger, my mum wanted to make stuff. We couldn't afford the fee. But again, credit card debt when we first moved to England, and just trying to get us back on our feet and stuff. Same thing,
So just in terms of that, how you felt, but I heard you say before that someone has said to you, in business, business failure is a part of business growth, isn't it? How do you feel? And when's it happened? A couple of months ago, is it? Final?
This was November that we entered liquidation 2025.
So how do you feel then compared to how do you feel now? And
I feel much better. Again, you go through the emotions when it's happening. You feel embarrassment. You feel like shame. You feel like you've let everyone down. And we did take a bit of pride in, like, we outlasted all these big players and we was going out the same way.
I'm extremely competitive on little things like that.
And then you are proud, and you get all the outpour of customers. Oh my God. The amount of messages that we receive from customers being like, you guys go down in the Hall of Fame in plant-based foods for what you guys done to Manchester. And we're like, we knew we were the GOATs, but we didn't realise. And they're like, no, you guys were everything to us. You guys kept me sane during lockdown. We would see you every day, have conversations. We couldn't see anyone. I didn't see my family members. And we would come to you guys the amount of different messages that we received was amazing. You guys introduced me to vegan food. I've been vegan for 5 years now, and blah, blah, blah. And your attention to customers, even as you're telling your story, that's really important. But I suppose when we heard about sort of the COVID parties and stuff like that, like, people quickly forget how bad the time was, and that how your relationships become really important, and that you weren't seeing your family and friends, and then not just that, being introduced to something new, that was great as well, and the quality of stuff. So how do you feel now about business, about life, about? I feel much better. There's still some heaviness that I carry and I think I'll probably always carry that by, like, some staff, how staff are affected by it. Don't get me wrong, there is also a flip side to that, because again, you can do right by people for a many years. Anything they need, you're there for them.
Yeah.
And then when you need a hug,
no one's there. Well, I was going to ask this
I
question.
had one employee
Yeah.
say, don't worry, you guys are amazing. You've always done right by us. I know you're going to sort it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Always rooting for you and Saffron. It literally made Saffron cry.
Yeah,
we was
that's
like, this is the first nice message that we've received.
Yeah.
And we're, again, every day we're dealing with
Everyone,
landlords, suppliers, banks, people threatening to sue, people not believing we're entering liquidation, that we're just trying to hold them off. And we're like, it was constant. And no one's there to be like, okay, this is bad, but I can imagine what you guys are going through is much worse. Yeah, I've lost my job and it's terrible. You've lost your livelihoods for the past 6 years. You got 2 babies. What are you guys going to...
I was about to ask this question because, again, you know, a lot of people don't want to take any investments or grow because they're scared of what they may lose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does that look like for you? Because I'm sure at strain, you know, because your business partner is your life partner, and then you've got the 2 children, and you've got the house, and you got to, like, can you put it in context of you as a human, what you lost through that process, as opposed to like...
it was a lot, because again, this is our livelihood for 6 years. So myself and Saffron lost our salaries almost. Myself and Saffron had been paid for a few months prior to that. Luckily, I had some savings. I hadn't been paid way longer than that. There was times throughout the company where I couldn't pay myself because I was prioritizing, like you said, paying other staff was always something that no one ever felt anything within the company until those last few months, ever. It doesn't matter if someone wanted extra holidays, I would make sure it's got paid. Someone was on extended sick but couldn't take SSP, and I agreed. I said, I'll pay you your holidays if you want to take some of your holidays. They always got paid. So yeah, when it came to that, I remember just even the amount of money personally that I'd put into Vegan Shack when I ran the numbers, and my name's on the debtor list. When I was sending around the emails to my investors to be like, we're closing the company, you know, thank you for you trusting us, and we gave it a good go. We just didn't, you know, hit the home run. But I want you to know I'm the biggest investor, and I don't mean emotionally, physically. I'm on the books. I'm owed multiple 6 figures from money that I've put in from my savings and other projects I was doing on the side. So I want everyone to know, looking at those numbers of I'm also owed, because I thought it was going to pay off one day. And I'm like, so that's gone down the drain. Could have bought a house. That's gone down the drain. I've got 2 baby girls. Not only financially, you're obviously scrambling for a little bit because you think the world's ending, but they grew up in Vegan Shack. They were both Vegan Shack babies. That's what they ate.
That's what I was saying. It's deep.
My eldest, her Vegan Shack visits were every day. She loved it. And we would always say, the staff would call her the heiress of Vegan Shack, and this is your empire one day, baby girl. And all of that's gone. And no one, you don't get there, it'll be okay, like from... So it's tough. And then on top of that, I'm an entrepreneur, so you're trying to get back on the horse, but you are like still healing a little bit. But I'm like, I've got 2 baby girls, a partner that still believes in me and still, you know.
Would you think about getting a job for a while rather than 100%. Trying to get back on the entrepreneur 100%.
Thing? So
you need time to
I've
heal.
Been offered, luckily, again, the outpour of support from these videos and me being vulnerable after, I didn't think I was ever going to speak about it. But I was like, do you know what? Why not? Got in my car, filmed a TikTok, posted it. And again, it's over 1 million views of constant.
So are you getting paid from TikTok as well?
No.
But
nearly. The followers are coming in.
I was about to say, it's a loss leader though, because you're probably earning revenue off the awareness.
That's it. So many
I was thinking
landlords.
Though about, what's her name? The black woman who makes food. She's married to the model. Black woman who cooks food, you know what I mean. Married to Lucky Blue Smith. Her name's Zara or something.
Zara, yes. Yeah.
So actually, the cooking of the food might be the way to go. Do you know what I mean?
You're right. That could be. I've got one of my friends actually. He's nearly got 1 million followers on socials, and all he does is plant-based food on TikTok and stuff, and that's his full-time job.
Well, I think for someone who doesn't like cooking, I'll sit there and watch her cooking something.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good shout. But I've had loads of people reach out, and so opportunities I've already, we'd love to help you do this. So that's why I've gone into consulting. currently consulting with one of my friends. He's opened up a pop-up restaurant. He's a TikTok chef. He's opened up a restaurant in London.
I think the best thing is someone who's, who's done stuff, who's been through, who's learned from it. That's who you want business advice from. Not from someone who's like, it's always gone easy. Not that it always goes easy.
Never done it and knows the
theory.
Some of the stuff is interesting around academia. So I left school with no qualifications, and I'd done a first business studies degree when I was about 28. And, by that time, I think I'd already been bankrupt once. Not in business, but in life. But I've just done a master's recently, and I didn't learn I didn't learn a lot. I didn't learn a lot of anything new because I've been in business for 30 years. Yeah. But some of the things I've really learned where I've gone, that's really interesting, like the business life cycle curve, like the fact.
I'm saying only when you see it in real, like, so speaking to someone in real life, like I've met a lot of academics who'll go, oh, yeah, the entrepreneur journey's this, and I say, no, have you been up at 3 a.m. in the morning and you're deciding what you do? That's when I want to speak to someone who's done it and knows the up and down.
I've done academia after I've got real life experience.
That's what makes you formidable.
And that's why I'm trying to help people now in business support, because it actually, not just that, it meant something to me when I was late. I couldn't have learned this when I was 19. What I've learned 2 years ago.
I'm sorry if I was at uni at 21. I'm 30 now. Yeah. When I'm staring at my emails, we've got $3,000 in a bank account, but I'm looking at invoices totaling 30, 40 grand. I'm not going to remember something I learned 10 years ago about the life cycle of, that's what you should have done.
But you learned to count quick.
Literally, you sat there trembling, thinking these guys are going to give me maybe 7 days before they put a notice on my door. I'm not going to remember something, but I can imagine now you're like, that relates to that.
Cash flow curve, do you know what I mean? And people talk burn rates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, just not. So, looking up and looking onwards and upwards in that sense. So, if I could wave a magic wand, where would you be in a year's time? What is next for you?
So in a year's time, we, luckily for us, about a year ago, we revisited one of our old business ideas, which is our natural skincare company called Nomcos. Okay. This was Saffron's idea. She wanted a really good vegan lip balm, but we couldn't find one anywhere that was natural, because a lot of people say it's natural, but there's a weird grey area. You can say made with natural ingredients.
There's a lot of blaggers out there.
50%. Whereas we wanted one that was 100% organic and natural. So that's what we went into. And luckily it's working. Yeah. We're getting there. We've only been full-time since the liquidation. We're getting there. Still very early stages. And on top of that, the amount of comments of, do you do mentorship? Do you do... Yeah. So I've set up a one-to-one mentorship thing where I help... early founders, and it's, again, practical information. I always wanted a mentee, but I was going to say I couldn't afford it. I didn't see the value in it at the time when I was early in my journey. I did get the opportunity to get a mentor, but I remember he was like £700 a month, and I was like, I'm not paying that. Yeah. One of my biggest mistakes.
Yeah, but £700 a month's a lot.
It was 100%. I could afford it. I didn't want to afford it. And there was other things that I wanted to spend the money on. I'm obviously nowhere near that price. But so now, just help early founders.
Just getting it in.
But just
avoid a business and it's affordable, guys. That's where you start to
But I remember, because I was like, if it's affordable and it's just practical, like advice that I wish I needed, and things that I know now that I'm like, you need to know this, or you need to go to this place if you need this, and even so many things that I've had to learn,
and the accountant stuff and stuff like that. But the program that we run is that we run one for a year, and this one's been 6 months, but it's coaching sessions attached to some I keep calling it interventions, like it's rehab. But we have a growth weekend. We ask the series question. The coaching, and I've been a coach for years, and you've been coaching for years, and as a coach, we don't particularly need to have all the experience, but we need to hold a mirror up to you and ask the right questions. Yeah. And I think sometimes it's not even so much as someone's got this industry expertise who can really, tell you you're not going to do that, because half the time you wouldn't listen anyway if you think it's right. But asking you to ask yourself the right questions, that's really what we try to aim for, and hold a mirror up to yourself and getting you to think. And sometimes there's a bit of advice in there, but that's how we try to approach it.
It's very important. No, I was just going to say that, it's very important to also, like, for them to be able to see where they're at. Yeah. Because, again, you can tell someone this is what you need to do. If they're not ready, then they're not going to listen, or they're going to do it wrong. But, the session that I try to do is, like, again, we work on your business. Like, I don't want to give you advice that you might or might not take. Show me where you're at. this is what I feel like you need to do, and this is why.
Yeah.
And then I've done my job.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like you said, I have been offered jobs.
Yeah.
There was one guy that saw my TikTok and he was like, you need to be in sales. Like the way you speak about, you need to be in, he's in tech sales. Yeah. And he was like, I'll just speak to my boss and just see where this goes. And I was like, what else am I doing with my days recently? Yeah. But anyway, I've been... It's insane. I can't remember the last time I had a job. I've been fast-tracked and offered a position at a London tech firm. So I'm considering that job and that crazy salary.
Yeah.
Will you have to move to London?
No.
Oh,
I can just go. The world's changed since I had a job.
I'm going to see if this flat in Croydon was still $3.5 grand.
Probably, literally.
I'm not sure he wants to walk past Box Park.
No, PTSD. But so I would go to London once a week for that.
But look, that's great. And I suppose in terms of showing your experience is really valuable, despite it being traumatic for you.
That's it.
And your family.
Even the people that I've been speaking to about it, they've been like, people don't walk into jobs like this. You should be. This should give you the biggest ego boost. It didn't work out with your other business. Doesn't mean it's not going to work out for future businesses. And the fact that someone saw the value in your recent journey, you see it, or you might see it as a failure, and someone said, "I need that guy."
Yeah. It's like you've been through something, you survived something. Some people are going, actually, I like that because that person's come through that.
But you know it as well.
With a level of boldness,
in terms of like business and bootstrapping and what you've done, that's very admirable. That's not, you haven't got a whole shed loads of your dad's money and you've sat and just blew it. And then, all right, it hasn't worked out, so I'm going to move on to something else. I mean, you've lived through that and built it up from scratch. And I say, no one can take that experience away from you. But even the learning from you, actually, do you know what I mean? Like, you would never choose this to happen to you. But I wonder in a couple of years' time that you look back on this and say, I've learned so much from it.
100% say that's probably the best thing.
I had a comment on my Instagram saying, you might not know this right now, D, but someone's watching you saying, I'm investing in this next project. Yeah. And I put it on my story because I was like, that's crazy. And then I got a bunch of messages from other people that do, and being like, that's how it works. Yeah. Like, you always fumble the first one, or you always fumble. You need to fumble to you can't do it again. That's it. That's it. You need to, people need to see you in that state to be like, you've dealt with that well, you're ready.
Investing in someone, like, I wouldn't invest in anyone who had this grand idea of Vegan Shack without, do you know what I mean? I'd invest in someone who tried and really tried and hit some critical points that actually, if different decisions were made or things had gone differently, then it might have had a different outcome. But someone who just designed Vegan Shack and said to me, I wouldn't be interested in it at all.
That's a good shout,
I have the question which goes back to a little bit some of the stuff you said earlier about the coaching, and what you're saying is like, what have you learned about yourself during this journey? Ooh. Right, you're at 30 now, so what have you, when you look back and go, I've learned this about the industry, I've learned this about business, I've learned this about managing people, whatever, but what have you learned about yourself? Because that's the thing no one else will be able to take away with them.
My resilience blows my partner's mind. It brings her to tears sometimes. It's the biggest compliment. She'll literally be crying, and she'll be like, you're going through probably one of the worst things that could happen to people, and the way you still speak to me, and the way the dad that you are, and the way you speak to the kids, and how none of us are affected by what I'm sure you're experiencing inside your own head is like mind-boggling. So the fact that I'm able to do that and be that for my partner and as a dad and not let my emotions affect them I'm really proud of that. I wish, I had more of that when I was a kid. So I'm really proud of that. And also just, I guess, my optimism for the future. I probably shouldn't be this optimistic. And I had a comment on Instagram saying, why are you smiling? I've survived. I've survived. No, I like that. I've survived. Why would I not smile on the video talking about what I've experienced and how funny it is and some funny stories? And it literally said, why are you so happy? And I said, it's happened now. I can't change it. I can laugh about some of the funny things, but so I guess my optimism and how I deal with, how I can deal with so much hard and, still keep it moving and not let it change who I am. I think they're two things that I like and probably going to carry with me now that I'm aware of them more.
It's probably the things that people are attracted to when you talk about it. So it's the resilience and how you are moving beyond it as opposed to being submerged in that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not scared to have another business. I can, like, excited to do it all again. And
and have learned from, you know,
That's
some
it.
of the decisions that you've made. And actually, I'm looking forward. I'll be keeping a watch. And do you think, you know, they're talking on social media and stuff, do you think that's got legs? Because as I say, straight away, I was like, I want to speak to this guy. I want this guy. I mean, have you tried the public speaking network and
so
have you
that's
signed
another
up with
thing
an
that
agency and stuff?
No, so I'm nothing sort of an agency. I would love to do way more public speaking. Feel like I've got a knack for it. I've been invited to, like, I've done Black Business Week before in London. A partner of Vegan Shack Square, a payment processor, they invited me 2 years in a row. That's always amazing, and the talks always go really well and really resonates with so many people in the audience. So that's always been fun. But again, I don't have Vegan Shack anymore, so I don't know if I'm going to be on stage anytime soon. But
you know, you're talking about your experience. It's not about Vegan Shack. I've got a few Manchester-based firms. I know I can send you as well. I think there's definitely legs to sharing your story and, you know, so articulate what you've learned and being able to learn the lessons and not just have your head down. I mean, it's not long ago. It's 4 or 5 months ago. You know what I mean? So picking your head up and sharing it with the world, that's already showing that you've learned lessons.
Definitely.
To pass on. Thank you for tuning in to the Innervision Business Beyond Barriers podcast.
If you enjoyed this episode, you can check out more on the Innervision YouTube channel.
The business programme itself was commissioned by the Liverpool City Region Combined Authority Race Equality Hub, and this podcast is produced by Nothin But The Music.